Welcome to the Lost Lowdown podcast number 35 with your illustrious hosts, Claude and Justin.
What's up, guys?
Wow. It's been a long time since we've had a podcast out.
Yeah. Although the last one was so long, I think it made sense to take a break.
How long was it?
It was so long, you need a to carry it.
Oh. That was bad.
Or listen to it. I don't know why you would carry it.
So long that you would need 20 CDs to burn it to a CD. I don't know if that's true, though.
It might be.
I don't know.
No, you probably need... A CD's like an hour. You probably need like 13 CDs. Maybe
13.
12.
Well, a CD is 70 minutes.
Technically.
Get it straight, Buster Brown.
Yeah, so maybe 11 CDs. All right.
All right.
So your exaggeration, I don't know. Anyway.
So we're talking about Season 1 favorites, Part 1 of our Season 1 favorites. So today we're going to be talking about Justin's favorite, Raised by Another.
Yay.
Claude's pick, Solitary. And the fan-voted favorite, Walkabout, with, as of recording, 51 votes out of 129, which for you mathophiles out there, that's 40%.
That's me.
That's you. You're a mathophile.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I guess we'll just start. I don't know. I feel like it's been so long since we've
it has.
addressed the audience. I feel like we need to catch up.
I know. So much has happened since we last left you.
Yeah, not really, though.
Yeah, well, whatever. I wanted to say it.
Yeah. Kind of thing you say, but not the kind of thing you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love you.
Ooh.
Oh, you like that one?
Ouch.
Nice. That was a good joke. 3 points. I'm giving myself 3 points.
It was painful, though. Painful.
I know. Well, the pain, there's comedy in pain.
I see.
Yeah. You know, like slip on a banana peel. You fall down. It's funny.
Yeah.
It hurts.
I see.
So we'll talk about this. I'm trying to think. I guess we should have prepared a little bit more before we start recording. I guess we'll just dive into the podcast.
So we're gonna go in episode chronological order. We're gonna do Walkabout, and then Solitary, and then Raised by Another.
Yes, we're gonna go in the order they appear in.
And we are gonna go scene by scene, but it might be a little breezy because at this point these episodes are a little bit outdated.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, we're trying to give you guys something to do, something Lost related, you know, blah, blah, blah. We've already done our Season 1 retrospective, so we've already podcasted about these episodes. But
and we've talked about the issues raised by these episodes many times.
So, you know, this might be a fairly quick podcast because there's really not a lot to talk about. I mean, we'll go over, hey, this is a cool scene, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But, it's not going to be, any hard-hitting, in-depth investigation. As our usual podcasts are, right?
It's not an action news special report.
It's not, no. So just be prepared. It's probably going to be pretty breezy, to coin a phrase. And just came up with that.
Wow. Good one.
So Justin and I have split the fan favorite. So I'm going to do the first half, scene by scene, and he's going to do the second half, scene by scene of Walkabout. So is that it?
That's it. I guess we can start.
All right, so here we go on a Walkabout. Open on Jonathan Locke's right retina. As they like to do in every now and then, is open on someone's eye. And I believe you have an eye opening in your episode, huh?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's good. So
they were really doing that in Season 1. It was a thing.
They really were. No, it was a thing. A motif, if you will.
Yes.
French.
Right.
So Locke wakes up. This is a flashback. This is the plane crash, the original incident that started it all.
Mm-hmm.
And Shannon's screaming, Jen's yelling, all the kind of chaos, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Locke sees that he can move his toes, and he's like, whoa. All right, that's it. End of
what happened.
Great job, Terry. Great job. We flash forward to Vincent barking, waking everyone up. Something's in the jungle.
Ooh.
Not in the jungle, actually, in the
fuselage.
In the fuselage. Thank you. And and it's not Sawyer, jackass, as Sawyer pointed out to Jack. I remember that being, loving that little exchange of, oh, it must be Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one who'd be rallying around. But no, Jack, it's not Sawyer. So Jack approaches, Jack, and they kind of all approach, but Jack is sort of in the front with like the world's smallest flashlight. And
it was a small flashlight.
It was really small, and like Sawyer had a bigger flashlight.
Yeah.
Wait. At least that's what Kate says.
Ooh. Ouch.
Any opportunity for a joke, we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Sawyer has a bigger flashlight. That's funny. So lo and behold, it's three boars. I don't know how you pluralize that.
I think it's supposed to be boar. I think that's the plural, but
they say boars.
They use both. Like, I think there's some lines where they say boar, and there's some lines where they say boars.
Maybe it's one boar, two boars, three boar.
That would be weird.
More boars. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next scene, Jack is tending to Charlie's wound because I don't know why. He fell down. What happened? He just, fell, didn't he?
Charlie?
Did the boar hit him or something? He just, fell.
I'm guessing it's from a previous episode. The one, I don't remember what happened, though.
I thought it was from, oh, jeez.
Sorry. I can't
one of us has to watch the episode.
I do remember, well, no, I don't even remember that scene. I
do remember, oh, wait, no, I don't. No, I just remember in the previous scene when the boar, they scare the boar and then the boar start running, and then Charlie falls for some reason, and then in the next scene he's being tended to. So I figured something happened.
Okay, you're probably right.
Anyway, who cares?
Because he had an episode 2 before this. I was thinking maybe that's when it happened. No, that's not even true. This is Walkabout. What am I thinking? Never mind. You're right.
You either need to stop drinking or drink some more. Whatever's going to make you right again.
No, you're right. Yeah, I guess he fell down and hurt himself.
He just fell from there. I think he just slipped on a banana peel and fell.
Mhm. It's Charlie.
So Jack wants to burn the dead bodies, and he says, "Hey, they're looking for us in the wrong place. It's been 4 whole days."
Oh, guys, it hadn't been that long yet.
Oh, I'm 4 days. Oh.
It's hard to sympathize.
You guys have no idea. Oh, just like that line Hurley says, I don't remember what episode. Is it this episode?
What was the line?
Something about I forgot. Oh. Wah, wah.
Wow.
It was basically something about how there's a lot of danger on the island. He's like, and there's a monster. And
yeah. No, that's the golf thing. That's in the next episode. It's solitary.
Okay. So we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So let's see. So basically, Jack decides they're going to burn the bodies the next night. He wants, the fire to be lit so that people could see it at night. So. Next scene, got Kate and Saeed talking. Saeed is trying to make something to locate the tower where Danielle's signal is coming from. If you ask me, I don't think they'll ever find it. And Kate wants to help, of course, because she has nothing else to do.
Right.
Like usual. Like a woman. No, I'm kidding.
Ooh,
women. Take them or leave them. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So next scene, Walt and Michael are kind of gathering wood, and Walt wants to go over to talk to Mr. Locke.
Mr. Locke!
Mr. Locke! But Mike says no. Next scene, we got Sawyer and Hurley.
What a scene.
I know, right? Some of these scenes are like blah. But, of course, they're blah in retrospect.
Yeah.
Next thing we got Sawyer and Hurley. They're arguing over something in the backpack. Boone tries to help, but he gets a stay out of it, Metro. And I remember when that first came up, and we were trying to figure out who he was talking to or what he meant by that. And some people were like, oh, he's talking to Jack. Because Jack is like a police officer, and he's calling him Metro, like, right? Isn't that what people said?
I believe that was the hypothesis, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird, but he's obviously talking to Boone.
Yeah, I agree.
And the illustrious Ian Somerhalder. And Jack comes and breaks it up, and we find out Sawyer has the last of the peanuts. Because when you're really hungry, you know what fills you up? A package of peanuts.
Peanuts are filling. I will throw that in.
I don't think they are. So basically we find out that there's no more food, and then Saeed reassures everyone that there's plenty of things to eat on the island, like boar, Locke says, as he steps up and throws a knife at Sawyer. Locke suggests that they go hunt the boar, and he gives his whole spiel about everything, and that he, explains that he knows about boar and razorbacks, obviously.
I think it would have been great if when he threw the knife, it went right in Sawyer's head and he killed him right there.
That would have been That would have been the first big Locke foible.
Yeah.
Did I do that?
I was supposed to demonstrate my throwing prowess.
No, I think it would have been better if he threw it and it went into his neck. That way Jack could save him, but he almost died.
Oh, okay.
And then Sawyer could hate Locke forever until Locke lets him kill the real Sawyer. And then
what are we gonna
that would
eat?
mean that.
We'll eat you, bitch.
We'll eat you. It looks kind of stringy.
It's one of those scenes of it has a lot of impact, but Locke, don't do that. What are you doing? Why are you throwing a knife?
That was back when I don't know what. I don't even know what. I don't know. That was when he was cool, but just because we didn't know much about him.
Yeah, exactly.
So, he shows his case of knives and everything, and basically, hey, we're ready. We can go do this. And speaking of the case of knives, where are they now?
Oh God, I don't know.
I don't think we ever saw those knives again. So anyway, the only other thing I wanted to mention in this scene is that Jack has gray hair and his beard, which I never noticed until season 3 or something. But it's there from the beginning.
Yeah, I noticed it too when I was watching these.
Yeah, so he was always old.
Yeah.
But
Sawyer got grayer, I think, though.
Yeah, Sawyer got grayer. So next scene, flashback, Colonel Locke gets a call from GL-12. And this is the scene where, for a good half second, you think Locke is somebody who's really crazy and important. And then Randy comes by and shoots down that dream, like he shoots down many dreams. And we realize he's just a guy working in an office.
A box company in Tustin, California. Yes.
So next scene, we've got Jack and Kate talking. He asks Kate why she always wants to go trek when, trek to danger. And, she tells Jack that she's really going to go help Saeed with Saeed's triangulation. So, she's going on the boar hunt. going on a boar hunt.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that again.
Can't go through it.
Can't go do it.
God.
I guess we'll have to skin it. So she says she's really going to go help with Saeed's triangulation. And she also says she's a vegetarian, which, is that true?
No.
I didn't think so.
If she is a vegetarian, she doesn't observe her habits.
Yeah, because I thought I'd seen her eat meat before.
She ate bacon in the previous episode, Tabula Rasa.
Oh, wow, bacon eater.
So when she goes to the one-armed Australian farmer guy's house and he gives her breakfast, there's bacon there. And she's eating it.
Well, that wasn't Kate.
I think, oh, right, I forgot. That was Annie.
That was Annie. Annie eats anything. Annie's an omnivore.
I think it was just a snappy one-liner. It's not true.
Yeah. By snappy one-liner, you mean a lie?
She never brought it up. You know, with Kate, it's a fun
Gold-faced lie. Yeah, I didn't think that was true. I'm a vegetarian. Yeah, right. So next scene, we got Mike. He wants to go on the hunt, and he tries to ask if Sun will watch Walt, and it's just very fun watching Sun pretend not to know English. She does a very good job. She might not even known that she knew English at this point.
I don't think she did.
But it was very nice. Good acting, Sun. The next scene, we've got Claire talking to Jack, and she shows him this wedding plan book that she found, and she wants Jack to lead a memorial service for the bodies they're going to burn later. And Jack doesn't want to do it. It's not his thing. And Claire says, well, maybe I will do it. Like, fine, do it then. And next scene, we got Boone. He's working and gathering wood. He sees Rose alone in the distance and is worried, and he tries to talk to Shannon about it, but Shannon doesn't care.
What's a four-letter word for shut the fuck up, bitch?
Yeah. What did she say? What's a four-letter word for I don't care? What? I didn't get that. Is there really an answer? Like I was just thinking like an expletive, like she, like.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, and, she's doing the crossword puzzle.
Yeah, but I just thought that maybe there's a real answer.
Oh.
Like for instance, like if the answer was fuck off or something, then she could say, what's a 7-letter 2-part word for, I don't know how to phrase that.
A little less snappy when you say it that way.
Yeah, right. Give me a phrase, 2 words, 7 letters total. That means blah, 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 yeah. Anyway, so, and then Shannon, of course, she claims that, she's not going to starve, and she can catch a fish.
Oh, God, that's the plot.
That was horrible. I remember hating that the first time I saw it, and the second time, and the third time,
it's awful.
And now this time. So, the next scene, we've got the hunting party, as they were, and Locke, Mike, and Kate. And they're on the trail of the boars. And then
look
that's
out,
it. And then
they're coming.
Look out, boars, because it's plural.
Right.
Next scene, Charlie is about to take a hit of his little heroin. That's back when he was still addicted, of course. For those who forget, that old Charlie had a vice. Let's not forget. Even though he's a hero in Season 3, he's a loser in Season 1. Oh. No sympathy for Charlie, I hear.
Not a bit.
You're like, yes, that's true. Move on. So he's about to take a hit, and Shannon approaches, and he puts it away, and she asks if he wants to join her for a walk, and of course he does. And then asks if he knows anything about fishing. We're breezing right through this episode.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing to talk about.
Ooh, you think Charlie really knows something about fishing, or is he lying?
Ooh. Well, I do think he's lying, actually. But
I do, too.
But, yeah. So, good fake question. That was relevant. Next is Boone. You know, he goes to talk to Jack about Rose, and he wants Jack to go talk to her because he's the one who saved her life.
Ooh.
As we'll remember from the pilot.
Boone tried, but he was doing it wrong. And then he went to get some pins.
Get a pin, Boone.
To stick a hole in her throat. Somehow that was
She didn't even have a wound. Like, she didn't even have a wound from that, like in this episode.
No, he didn't do it. They didn't actually do it.
Oh, they didn't do that?
No. It was basically, in the
wrong.
context of the episode, it was Boone, they weren't, Jack knew they weren't supposed to do that. That wasn't the problem.
I'm thinking of,
and basically he just sends Boone away to get pins to keep him occupied while he saves Rose's life.
I'm thinking of that scene in Jericho where they actually do that.
Oh.
I'm thinking of a combination between what Boone wanted to do and what they did in Jericho. And I'm like, they did it to Rose. How come she doesn't have a wound? All right, never mind. Pass the liquor.
Yeah.
So next scene, Jack goes to talk to Rose. You know, we find out he was in seat 23A.
Oh.
And that's about it. And then the hunting party. We cut back to them. And Kate and Mike are kind of making small talk. And then they come up on the boar. Locke tries to give signals to everyone, you know, how they're going to corner it. And then Mike makes an outburst, and then the boar comes running out and attacks him. Locke falls on his back and can't move his legs. So oh no, what's going on? So next scene. Flashback, Locke is playing a strategy board game with his friend GL12, and during lunch, Randy comes in, starts antagonizing him. Locke tells him that he's going to go on this walkabout, and Randy doesn't think he can do it. I mean, why not? He's a normal, able-bodied, non-paraplegic man. Why can't he go on a walkabout?
This is Randy's, I think this is Randy's biggest asshole scene because he's telling this paralyzed guy in a wheelchair, you can't do anything. Like, oh my God, that's ridiculously heartless.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the other stuff is almost standard, like, asshole boss stuff, but this is like taking it a step further, looking at his file and like finding things to insult him about.
Yeah.
Like it's beyond the ordinary. Yes. So anyway, I just wanted to say that he's really an ass in this episode.
Yeah, it's a little much. I wonder why he seems to just hate Locke.
Yeah.
Like something about Locke. I mean, maybe it's just there's some sort of discrimination he has against, you know, disabled people or something, and he just wants to make Locke so miserable as much as he can. But it's a little weird, but that's Randy.
That's Randy.
Then Locke, of course, gives the very awesome, "Don't tell me what I can't do."
Yeah.
God, I hope we don't have to hear that anymore this episode. Let's wait and find out. So, and in this scene is also the first scene first time we hear about Helen.
Right.
Which is, we know who Helen is now, but
we know all about Helen.
So I'm going to toss over the reins of this to you, because that's the end of my notes, and it's time for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very quick. 16 minutes. 15.
All right. Well. So we're back on the island. Kate and Michael and Locke are in the jungle. Michael's hurt. He got scraped by the boar.
Gored, please.
Gored, okay. I couldn't think of the right word. Kate is sort of tending to him, and Locke is lying on the ground. Kate stays with Michael, and Locke goes to get the boar.
Mm-hmm.
And then next scene, we have Hurley and Charlie trying to fish with a makeshift spear, and laughs and fun ensue. And the next,
as only the two of them could do.
Right. Next scene, Claire gives the Nadia picture envelope to Saeed, and Saeed looks at the pictures. Now we know all about that whole situation.
Yes, quite clear.
Seen lots of Nadia. We've seen lots of Saeed, what he did afterwards, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess one of our episodes explains more itself. Okay, so the next scene, Jack and Rose sit on the beach. Rose explains why she has Bernard's ring on a necklace, and Jack tries to talk Rose out of her moping state. And then we cut to Locke hunting the boar, and then we move to a flashback. And Locke's sitting on the bed, and he's talking to someone he's calling Helen, but he's actually paying her to talk to her, to talk to him. Yeah. He tells her that he told Randy off, which he didn't. And
I think in Locke's world he did. he definitely stood up for himself to a certain degree, and he didn't really back down. Randy just kind of left, so he didn't know what are you gonna do. But I could see Locke thinking if that's the best he's ever done, I could see that Locke feeling like that was a victory.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's more than he usually sticks up for himself. So to him, that's a big victory.
It's so sad, Terry's a good actor. It's so sad watching Randy pick on him.
Yeah,
and just because you just I don't know, something about his face. He's got a kind face, and it's like, why are you so mean to this guy?
Yeah.
Like, what has he ever done to you? He's an old guy working in an office. Like, leave him alone.
Yeah, I know.
Sad.
And the guy's paralyzed, and you're like,
and then when you find out that he's paralyzed, then it's like even worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if he wasn't paralyzed, it'd be like really mean. Like, but
yeah.
The fact that he's mocking him about it, I mean, Jesus. So yeah, okay.
But, I think it could be said that some of Locke's the relationship that Locke has with Randy, how they interact or how Locke responds, I think is, obviously a direct result of the dealings with his father.
Yeah.
Some of those antagonistic things his father said, I think, Locke kind of responded the same way.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. Of course, we don't know about that yet.
No. Locke has a father?
Oh, God. Yeah, that's really what we should say. Okay, so then Locke tells her about the walkabout and invites her along.
For no apparent reason. If you're going to go on an arduous trek through the Australian outback, why would you want to bring someone, like a woman, along with you? It's supposed to be a journey, a spiritual journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he would think that. And see, to me, this is an example of writing when you're only writing for this scene, basically.
Yeah.
Because as a writer, it's not going to happen, so you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a character suggest they go climb Mount Everest, but if they're not going to do it, then it's fine that you can bring that up.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing where it's like, it makes no sense why he would invite her when it's supposed to be this personal journey thing.
Yeah.
And really, hard to do.
And it even more doesn't make sense that he's talking to someone he's paying to talk to him and has never met, presumably. And to imagine that she's going to come with him,
Yeah.
Even if it were reasonable for him to ask, it isn't reasonable.
Yeah.
So,
He's I think she was kind of on the money to a certain extent when she suggests he get some therapeutic help.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's a little out of touch with reality.
Definitely. And it reminds me of that scene from the more recent episode where he goes to that place and they take away his disability because he stops going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
That was the thing to do, obviously. But, he found what he was looking for, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Okay, now that we're sitting on that, she gets disturbed, but...
I can't believe it's almost $90 an hour just to talk to her.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
Well, I guess it's like, what, $1 some a minute? $1.50 a minute? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
That is a lot, though.
Yeah. The place I call is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, the whole thing seems so dated. So she gets disturbed, and then reveals that she's being paid to talk to him, and so the situation goes from pathetic to even more pathetic, and she, of course, refuses the offer and then hangs up.
Yeah.
At the end of that scene. Okay, the next scene, Kate and Michael are walking back to camp, and then they stop. Kate climbs a tree to install Saeed's little device, and in the middle of this, we cut to Locke briefly, and then as Kate is about to, she pulls the thing out, and she's about to fasten it, I guess. They hear Smokey, and clanging around, and then she drops it, and so it breaks.
Butterfingers.
Yeah. And that's that, and then Locke, and then we go to Locke. He's continuing to hunt boar, and then he hears Smokey, and Smokey approaches him, and then we see, I guess, a Smokey's eye view of Locke.
Smokey cam.
A Smokey cam, as it goes up to him. And this is one of those things that they've talked about a few times afterwards. I guess, it's scanning Locke, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, next scene, we're back at the beach. Sawyer gives some items to Claire for the memorial service that he found when he was scavenging, and I guess he's slightly ashamed, but he wants to sort of do the right thing. Anyway, then Son teaches Walt about natural toothpaste, and then Michael and Kate stumble in.
That toothpaste thing was weird.
And then, oh yeah, right. Well, who knows? And then Walt talks to Michael. And he's a little slightly concerned about his wound and stuff. And then Walt asks.
So he was always funny to me because, Michael comes, stumbling in, bleeding and hurt, and, all the adults who see him are concerned because he's obviously hurt. But when they cut to Walt, he's, smiling and happy, and he runs over to Dad. And it seems like it wasn't until he, got to him that he realized something was wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, what's up? Oh, what happened to your leg? Yeah, can't you tell I'm hurt?
Yeah, I guess he was happy to see him, or...
Yeah, it was happy. I don't know. It seems like the actor, Malcolm, played it strange. He played it happy to see him instead of concerned right away.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost seemed to me like he was proud of him for, I don't know, going out and hunting and getting wounded.
Yeah. Yeah, you're back. I'm so happy to see you. Oh, no, you're hurt. Oh, okay.
He thought that was a cool thing to do. Yeah, I know. It's all very weird. And then Walt asks where Locke is, and then we cut away to Boone and Shannon, who are bickering. And
and Shannon, the original Nicky and Paulo.
That's right.
I missed them. I miss Boone and Shannon. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
You guys are good for something, I think.
And then Charlie shows up with a fish that he caught for Shannon, and Shannon gloats, and Boone apologizes to Charlie because he's clearly been misled to some degree. And then Boone and Shannon march off bickering and leave Charlie there all alone.
Standing there with his fish in his hand.
Yeah. No, don't they take the fish? No, you're right. They give it back.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Oh, sorry.
You get it?
Yeah, I do. I get it now.
You really?
But I thought you were just making a statement.
No, I never make statements.
Oh, okay.
Although that was a statement.
Oh, so was
I've
that.
only ever made one statement. Oh, shoot.
You just did like 3, man.
Yeah, that's true. This isn't going to work.
Ooh, God, you just don't stop. Okay, so.
Yeah.
It's hard to get by.
I always make statements. How about that?
Okay. That sounds a little more plausible. So next we go back to Rose and Jack. Jack tells Rose about the memorial service, and then Rose reveals that she doesn't believe her husband is dead, and then Jack sees the spooky dad apparition. And then the next scene we have Kate and Saeed.
The SDA.
Right.
Spooky dad apparition.
And it's a setup for White Rabbit, of course. And Kate, in the next scene, Kate gives Saeed back the broken device. Saeed,
I love that. Here's your pile of shit. Sorry. And Saeed's like, oh, okay, no problem. I could just take this and I can throw it on the ground because it's all useless. Yeah.
So Saeed's frustrated, but then determined to try again. Jack shows up, and Kate tells Jack that Smokey was headed for Locke, and pretty much says Locke's dead based on what happened to the pilot. And as Jack and Kate talk, he sees his daddy again, and Jack follows, and the place where he falls into, Locke comes out of the bushes with a boar in tow.
Now, do you think that means anything? That like the SDA kind of led him to where Locke was.
I don't, but I mean, what do you think that could mean?
To me, it's just strange. I don't know. It's just a strange thing. I don't know what that could mean, like, because the apparition is supposed to be, it's Smokey, right?
Yeah, that's who it should be.
So Smokey led him to, I don't know. I don't really know what that
Smokey
means.
Or the island.
Yeah.
Or Jacob, or it's not entirely clear, but I would say probably Smokey. But I just I think we speculated about this last time, and I don't know, it's leading Jack there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Locke would have made it to the camp eventually.
Yeah, it to me it seems like the kind of thing a dog would do. Hey, follow me to something interesting. And like, here's something interesting. Locke catching a boar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that's the idea. But I don't know either.
Or maybe Smokey didn't even know Locke was going to be there. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what Smokey knows.
Because I think it's pretty much that same kind of area, or at least the scene looked like that in, I guess, White Rabbit when he actually gets closer to the dad, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of goes into the, like, right from the beach to the jungle.
Right.
And, like, sees him. And so maybe he was going to present himself there, but then Locke showed up. So maybe that's all that was.
Yeah.
Although Kate was in tow.
Yeah, that's true. I think it probably just wanted to show itself to Jack by himself.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe only Jack would have seen it.
Oh, yeah. Could be. You never know with those things. Sometimes
you never know.
Sometimes everybody sees the vision, and sometimes nobody does. You never just... It's all up in the air.
Rich tapestry.
Right. Rich tapestry. So, so the next scene, Claire reads off some things from the plane for a memorial service. Basically, whatever she knows about the people she's talking about, which is, whatever's on their passports or whatever, various things. Charlie sneaks a little heroin,
little
bumpy bump, and then he goes to the service, and Kate asks Charlie about Jack, and then we go to Jack, and he's sitting all by himself, away from the group.
What's his problem? What's his deal?
Jack's deal?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just being a bitch.
He just well, that's saying. Is he just uncomfortable with death? Is that the idea? Like he couldn't save those people or something, or what's his? Why is he? Is it just the emotional situation he can't handle, or is it just like the fact that it's death he can't handle?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I got an idea.
What?
I know I just asked you to answer. What if he's thinking about his dad?
Yeah,
like that's part of it. Like his dad's kind of one of the people who, was dead on the plane kind of.
Right.
So maybe that's the
I think that's plausible.
So if he was going to say something about those people, he felt like he had to say something about his dad, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
He was on his way to a funeral.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a funeral for his dad, too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that's supposed to be.
I think that might be. I think the other part of it is, like, when Claire comes up to ask Jack to be the one to speak at the memorial, I got the sense it's partly that and partly what he struggles with in White Rabbit, which is not really wanting to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling that this,
I don't want to be the leader. I just want to be in charge.
Feeling that Claire coming up and asking him to do this is indicating that she sort of looks up to him and maybe feeling that other people do too, and kind of not wanting that leadership role. Yeah.
He wants it. He just doesn't want it because he made the decision earlier. No, we're gonna burn the bodies. That's what's got to be done. I'm not gonna talk to anybody else about it. We're not gonna vote as a group of 40-something survivors. I'm gonna make the decision. Like he wants to go and make these unilateral decisions, but when somebody asks him to step up to do something, he's like, "Oh no, not me." It's really weird.
Right.
And it's funny. It's that kind of like contradiction that makes him more realistic, but yet more unlikable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely a bitch, but I think I think that's part of the problem. But it probably is mostly the dad thing.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that the whole idea that he was basically on his way to a funeral before all this happened.
Yeah.
So he still got that on his mind, and he's never been able to deal with that. So that's probably what that was.
Yeah, I agree.
They should have put that in the captions or something. Jack thinks solidarily about his father.
We don't know yet.
To the pending funeral.
So maybe the idea is we see that, like, what's Jack's problem? And then the next episode we're supposed to realize.
Oh, is the next one where we realized the whole thing?
Yeah, the next one is White Rabbit, where we find out about his dad, and that's what he's doing in Australia. So, so that makes sense. It's really close.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I guess I'll go back and look at my notes again. Okay, right. So next up, Michael compliments Locke on the boar kill, and then he asks Locke about Smokey if he saw it, and Locke says that he didn't.
Locke's first big lie.
Yeah.
One of many.
One of many. Okay, then we go to a flashback. Locke is in the Australian walkabout office, and I don't know what to call it.
The Sydney walkabout office. Thank you.
Is he in Sydney? I don't think he's in Sydney.
No, he might not be.
Because
I don't know.
The guy tells him they'll put him on a plane to Sydney, and so I got the sense they're somewhere else in Australia.
Well, yeah, I don't think Sydney's right next to the Outback. He's probably in the Western. That was always weird to me when he's like, "We'll put you." What did he say? We'll send you to Sydney on our dime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how come he can't get his money back? Like, I'm sure he paid like a couple $1,000s at least.
Yeah.
How come he can't get his money back? All he gets is the plane ticket, like, for Sydney? Like, that's not a compromise.
Oh, I think he does offer him to give him his money back, doesn't he?
I don't think he does.
Because doesn't Locke say, I don't care about the money?
Oh, is that what he says? I remember Locke saying, like, you already have my money, blah, 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 just let me go. And then does he say that? Does he say, we'll give you your money back?
Maybe not. I'm looking at the transcript.
Yeah, I don't think he does, because I always was wondering, like, how come he never offered to refund his money?
Yeah. Maybe he just didn't say it. They really should give him his money.
Yeah, right.
It's not as though they've lost anything.
Yeah, right. I can get you on a plane back to Sydney on our dime. That's the best I can do. Like, I can't give you your money back, and I can't let you go. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just didn't say it, but
that's the thing. I feel like he means that and his money back. Like that's what he can do extra.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what he means.
That's the sense I got. But yeah, you're right. When he says he doesn't care about money, he's talking to the phone sex Helen.
Yeah.
That was the line when she said, "Oh, you have to try. I don't care about money." So anyway, yeah, I got that mixed up.
It was also weird how she said you can't afford it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does I mean, I'm sure she knows where he works because he probably told her. But I guess the idea is he's called so much.
Yeah.
8 months. 8 months worth of calling. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a shitload of money. At $90 an hour.
She probably got a promotion.
Oh yeah. Good for her.
You're doing good with this John Locke guy. Keep him on the phone as long as possible.
That's the real triumph of Locke.
Hey. All right. So continue.
So right. So anyway, the guy tells Locke that he can't go because of his condition, and then we get the reveal that Locke's in a wheelchair. What the fuck? And then he fires off another, "Don't tell me what I can't do.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Don't tell me ever." And the music swells, and it's all very dramatic.
It is.
A great scene, but when you've seen it 6 or 7 times, it loses a bit of punch. When you know what's going on. But the first time it was great. So,
yeah.
So I understand why people like the episode. Okay, so then we go back to the toe wiggling scene during the original plane crash, and we get to see a little bit more crash flashback from his perspective, stuff that they didn't show, and so now we understand why they showed that at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
And then we go to Locke in the present on the island, and he looks on at the service, and he sees the wheelchair, and then he smiles a little bit, and that's it.
As he's consumed by flames. Did they do something with the camera and like the flames like fill the frame?
Oh, did that happen? I didn't write it down, but
yeah,
okay.
It's like he's looking at the wheelchair on the other side of the fire or whatever, and then like you cut the lock, and then like you just see his face, and then like flames start going, and I think it just like flutters in the flame.
Oh, okay.
But well, that's Walkabout.
That's Walkabout. Classic episode.
That was your favorite, guys? No. No, very classic, very classic.
It is.
I mean, because before this, I mean, what? It was just a pilot, right? The pilot
and Tabula Rasa. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this was one of the first big episodes. I mean, it had a huge reveal of the wheelchair, and and then that mystery, and then Locke saw Smokey, who at this time was, we were calling it the monster.
Right. There was no reason to call it Smokey at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. There's a lot, and it sets up the Jack's dad, thing. Yeah, it's a pretty pivotal episode as far as setting things up. That's actually what I was thinking about in terms of these 3 episodes. They set up a lot of really long-term things that played out and really only got a lot of resolution pretty recently. So it's weird to see all that stuff get set up, this early on.
Yeah. So, I'm actually trying to find something here in the old transcript. Can't find it, so it's not going to help.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for this thing Hurley said. But this thing doesn't have Hurley on here, so never mind. But, all right, so we're going to Solitary, huh?
That's the next one.
That's the next one. Yay.
Yay.
I can talk more. I love that. Open my notas here. All right. So, Solitary. No song for that one.
No.
And when it starts, first scene, we got Saeed on the beach. He's looking at pictures of Nadia. He happens to see something out of the ground. Oh, a little backstory. So, in the previous episode, and correct me if I'm wrong, he basically tortured Sawyer because of the whole thing with Shanna's medicine, right?
Yeah.
So he felt bad about that because, as he said, he had promised never to torture again, and then he was forced to do so to help a young, beautiful woman.
Right.
And who, as we all know, she just needed to breathe, right? That solves everything. And literally.
Literally, it's true.
Literally, she just needs to breathe. And so he decides to go off and think and be by himself and sort of ostracize himself, as well as map the island, which was one of his goals, which I forgot until this.
So did I.
Until the thing at the end. But anyway, so he happens. So he's at the beach. He's however far from camp, and he sees something sticking out of the ground. He goes over to it. Lo and behold, it's a cable going into the ocean and going into the jungle.
Where could that lead?
As a wild guess, I would probably say it goes to an underwater station called the Looking Glass.
Oh. Interesting theory.
Yeah, I just kind of thought that, made it up,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's a good one. You even got a name for it.
Yeah, well, I'm a big Lewis Carroll fan, so if I was going to name an underwater station something, that's what I would name it.
Okay.
Especially one that had wormholes.
I was going to say, why would you name it that? But that explains it.
The wormholes.
Wormhole.
Wormholes. So he gets the cable and he decides to follow it into the jungle. And next scene we've got Jack. He's changing Sawyer's bandages, and Sawyer tries to lay a guilt trip on him for letting Saeed attack him in the first place. Torture him in the first place. Kate. Next scene, Kate's worried about Saeed. Been gone for 2 whole days, and and Jack reassures her that Saeed can take care of himself. Cut to Saeed not being able to take care of himself.
Oh.
He's trekking through the jungle and he sees the tripwire. 2 points for Saeed. He steps over it and gets caught in another trap. -2 points.
That broke even.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of Danielle's non-doll-based traps.
This is before she found the stash of dolls, or wherever she got her dolls from.
Oh, right.
The doll supply. I don't think she'd found the dolls yet. And I do want to talk about our old friend Russo. We will have an opportunity to talk about her quite a bit in this episode.
Absolutely.
And I want to talk about specifically why is she making traps. I don't think we've ever talked. Have we ever talked about why she's making traps? I think we just assume that's what she does is make traps.
Yeah, it's one of those things where she's always done it. I've never really questioned it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't question the sun on why it shines light.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just she makes traps.
Yeah, she's a trap maker.
Yeah,
she
that's
makes
a good
traps.
point. I could make a few guesses as to why she might be doing that in terms of the story, but should I do it later?
I don't care.
Okay. So, maybe to trap others.
Well, now, as devil's advocate would say, why would she want to trap others when we know that she's only survived this long on the island by staying out of situations?
Don't bring up
like
that
this.
line. That line is the death of her. Just makes her look silly. Everything she does.
I know.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, I'm just basing that on that's how she caught Ben. Who's
Ben? You mean Henry Gale?
Sorry. What am I saying? Yeah, Henry Gale. That's how she caught Henry Gale.
We should totally only talk about the episodes in relation to their seasons. So when we're in season 2, all we can say is, Henry Gale until we get to the Ben part. That'd be funny. What is he doing? I wonder why he's on the island. Did his wife die? How did she die? God, man. We spent a lot of time being wrong, asking really wrong questions.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe she had the sickness.
Yeah, maybe the wife had the sickness. Oh, man.
The wife wasn't even on the island. That was a big load of shit.
Yeah, he doesn't have a wife, number 2. So what were you saying about old D, that she's trying to trap others?
Yeah, that's one theory.
Because I hear them whisper.
Another theory might be trapping animals for food.
No.
And that's it. I think that's all.
The wire. See, to me, the wire trap, the tripwire, I should say. What is it called? Tripwire. Sounds right.
Mhm.
That doesn't seem like an animal trap to me. But I guess an animal could get trapped by that. The actual pressure plate thing, I don't know what she rigged up with that. He put his foot on something. I mean, that's some crazy rigging. You know what I mean? Like, you put your foot on this thing, and then this rope grabs you, and yeah. And then, okay. So anyway, that's the thing we're talking about.
Yeah, that's Charlie's, that trap that he stepped on really recently, the one that, killed him.
Yeah.
That was another one of those where he stepped on it, and it triggered the thing. I don't know how she's doing that.
Was it what was it? A dart or it wasn't a knife?
It was
right?
it was like a stick arrow.
It's like an arrow.
Yeah.
How do you rig something like the only way you could get an arrow to fly that fast, any sort of thing like that, would be some sort of bow-like device.
Yeah.
And you'd have to rig it, and then hope that the rustling of the trees and no other animals would screw up your rigging. And but then he steps on the thing, and she's crazy, man. I want to talk about her backstory.
And that one's really bad for catching others because pretty much kills.
And it's bad for catching animals too, since most animals aren't almost 6 feet tall.
Yeah. The height isn't good for maybe a polar bear, but I don't even think that would kill a polar bear.
No.
Unless it hit him in exactly the right place.
Yeah.
So anyway, and they
have a lot of blubber.
They don't usually walk upright either.
No, they don't.
So blubber, yeah, we do.
So okay. So anyway, he steps over and he gets, and then he gets caught in the other trap, or in another trap, however you want to say it. And then it swings him up, and then like it hits him against a tree where she has a stick thing that punctures his leg, and which is just in case you, you thought the trap was the worst of your problems. Here's a hurt leg for you. So we fast forward. Yeah, it's a bonus. Fast forward. He's been hanging up there for a while. I'm asking myself, he doesn't have a knife on him, so he can cut himself down. Like he's just, I don't know, Saeed, you're crazy. You don't have a knife. Locke had a whole case of them a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. Well, it's been a few episodes. They're gone now.
They're gone now. They're back in the prop closet. So anyway, someone's there. Ooh, who is it?
And of course he needs to get trapped for the plot. So
yeah. Someone cuts him down, and then he passes out for no good reason. Right before he gets a good look.
Sleepy time for Saeed.
Now I'm on the ground. I'm going to go to sleep now. Thank you. Call me when tea time's ready. I guess the idea is that he's been bleeding or something.
Yeah.
Although I should tell you, not that I'm a doctor, but if you're hanging upside down and you've got, a leg injury, you're not going to bleed too much because of the pressure. Your blood pressure won't be able to push the blood out of something above the heart like that.
Yeah, most of your blood will go to your brain and stuff.
Yeah, so it's actually good that he was upside down because it probably saved him.
That's what they do a lot of times. Hospitals, they put the injured thing up so the blood doesn't rush to it.
Yeah.
So that part's good. I mean, the hanging thing isn't necessarily fun, but
yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
I guess the idea is he passes out because of I don't know what the getting injured, being exhausted, dehydrated, all that stuff, and because there's no way she could carry him to her lair, so we have to cut so we don't see that part.
Right.
I guess she's supposed to drag him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I doubt she could hoist him up, even Rousseau.
Yeah.
It's a lot of man. So let's continue. I don't know what that means.
That's a lot of man.
That's a lot of man. I just meant he looks heavy.
Of course. What else would you mean?
The next non-homophobic scene. Homophobic what? Jack is tending to some random guy's hives. Who is this guy? Did we ever get a name on this guy?
What guy? Oh, the hypochondriac guy?
Yeah.
I guess he has a name. I should look in the transcript. I think he does because I think his name is in the closing credits. Let me see. Where does that scene come? I guess I should know because what you just said. Sullivan. His name's Sullivan.
Oh, he looks Irish.
Yeah, that's in the... I saw that in the credits. Sullivan? Who the fuck? Oh, yeah, that guy.
Is that his only name?
That's it.
Okay. So anyway, Jack calls him a hypochondriac, even though I should say he actually has a condition. It's not like he's making it up, but he's got hives, Jack. He's not crazy. Those hives exist.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the idea is he makes more out of it than it is. But I don't know. Maybe it's a sickness. Who knows what it is? Maybe it's not hives, Jack. Maybe it's the sickness.
Ooh.
Because Rousseau killed people for the sickness.
I haven't seen that guy lately.
Yeah, he's not on the show anymore. He got a chance to play golf, and that's it.
That's it.
Can I play?
You know. I think the purpose. One thing he does that's good is his character just comes out of nowhere, and so I think when Ethan does the same thing, it's not as noticeable.
Oh yeah.
Because they already did it once. So
totally not noticeable.
So I think that's because if Ethan had been the first person to not be part of the main cast to kind of like, all of a sudden start doing stuff, it might have been more shocking. But having this guy there first, I think, offsets that. So I just noticed that when I was watching the episodes, I'm like, oh, that was a good thing to do because it makes the Ethan thing work a little better.
Well, and plus Ethan was like helping, and he was hunting with Locke, and he's getting fruit, and he's just like total helper and smile on his face. So yeah, you totally don't expect him to be who he turns out to be.
Yeah.
But anyway, next scene. This scene. Oh yeah, here's the line that I wanted to bring up from Hurley. Hurley's telling Jack that they need something to do. Everybody's bored and stressed, blah blah blah. And then Jack says, well, things could be worse. And Hurley says, how? And I'm thinking, just wait till the others show up. You'll see how.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, because I remember when he said that. How could things be worse? I'm thinking, yeah, you're right. How could they be worse? Yeah, they get a lot worse.
Yeah, they do. And, of course, things could be worse. But, I mean, the point is things are pretty bad already.
Things aren't that bad. Things are not that bad.
They're not that bad in terms of the show. In real life, it sucks.
I mean, in real life, yeah. I mean, of course, it's not that great. They're stranded. They expect to be rescued. They're not being rescued. Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing, and I think it kind of brings you out of that like.
But it even could be worse in real life because they at least have food. They have water. They have a lot of stuff. They got all the stuff from the wreckage. It actually could be a lot worse in reality if they didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
No animals or plants to eat or something, and yikes. Anyway, next scene we've got Saeed and Danielle's lair, and he wakes up to various expressions of where is Alex?
Donde está Alex?
Yeah, in different languages. I could do two. I could do English and Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know any languages.
Something Alex.
Yeah. Give me the Alex. Where is my Alex? So he gets shocked by...
and this is an interesting move for a woman who stays alive on the island precisely by avoiding these types of encounters.
Exactly. Well, it's funny that, she's never seen another per se, but she knows this is one of them.
I know. She's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, like, to her, they're just like a mystical presence, but here's one, and later, there's another one.
Yeah.
And they're, they must just be people, and here they are, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I don't think she necessarily thinks they're mystical. She's only heard them whispering, but I think she assumes they're regular people.
Yeah.
That, for whatever reason, she just can't find. I don't know. But, so, yeah, I had a question about this whole torture machine. Did she set that up just in case she found one of the others? Or was that like an impromptu thing she just, threw together?
I can't believe she just, set that up just then. I guess she could have, but, like I said, where did she get the batteries?
I would assume from her supplies from the
So they're 16-year-old batteries from
they still work after 16 years.
Science
Festival. They're diehard batteries.
And she's just like, I'm just going to rig this little torture device for this guy. I guess she could have if she had those sitting around. Yeah.
That's what they teach you in science school, is how to torture people. So, with 16-year-old batteries.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I heard. So anyway, I
forgot about that because I think at some point I questioned how she got power down there, but in this episode they reveal it's from the batteries.
Yeah, is that what that's supposed to be? Yeah, I guess so. I assume the batteries were powering, obviously, the machine, the torture chamber, But the lights and stuff in there, I guess, supposed to be batteries too?
That's what I assumed.
How did she even build that place? What was that place?
That was a really sophisticated version of that thing Alex made. That,
See, Alex, this is a real way to do it. Learn from your mother. The little thing you made, that's child's play.
That was just a hole in the
ground. Yeah.
This is a home.
This is a home. Yours is a little child's fort. This is a home. Yeah, it's weird. I can't imagine that she somehow dug out a hole that was at least 12 by 12, right? At least. If not bigger than that.
Oh, yeah, it was big. It was
pretty big.
It was a good size room.
And then, but weren't the walls, cement or something? I thought there was, stucco on the wall.
I don't think so.
I saw some wallpaper.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. And it looks to me like, I mean, she's got a lot of shit in there. I got the impression that she lived there, which makes me wonder, where does she live now?
Well, I got the impression she lived there, too, until she blew it up.
Yeah.
So I think she just made another hole somewhere.
You think she's got another place like this somewhere?
That's something I can think of.
Yeah.
Where else does she live?
Who knows? I just never thought about it. She just sort of comes out of the woodwork occasionally. I'm like, where are you living? Are you just
literally out of the woodwork?
Sleeping wherever? Yeah, it really is literally.
It really is literally. It's literally.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get to say that too much.
Not enough.
Not enough for my taste. Well, I was going to pop in my DVD and take a look at the walls because I thought it was really sophisticated, but whatever.
Oh. Yeah, from what I recall, there's shit there, furniture or something, I think, covered.
Yeah, I distinctly saw IKEA furniture. I don't know how she did it, but...
Yeah, I mean, that table that Saeed fixes the thing at, the chair he's sitting in, where did she get all that stuff from?
I don't know. But it's probably easier for her to put it together since she speaks a lot of languages. So
right.
Got some instructions. Yeah.
Classic comedy.
Cutting edge comedy here, folks. Get it while it lasts.
Because, instructions always have a lot of other languages on them. So.
Yeah, because, when you buy something and you got to put together, it's always complicated, and they never have instructions in English.
Yeah.
And see, Rousseau, she speaks a lot of languages, and she could probably read them, too. And so that's why the joke is okay.
Just taking you inside the joke.
You've gone inside the joke with Claude and Justin. Please don't move anything. Keep your hands inside the vehicle. Okay, so what are we doing? Are we done yet?
No. Are you still looking for the thing, or are you what's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
We're not on the schedule, are we?
No.
Good. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
So, what do we got? The next scene, flashback. Saeed is torturing a man for information. There's a bomb that killed some soldiers, so he's trying to figure out what's going on. This is back, with Saeed in his old Republican Guard days. Oh, when I was a young man, I tortured many people. So, next scene, we got Saeed. He's getting promoted because he's doing really well, and he sees a young, beautiful woman being escorted somewhere in the jungle. Somewhere in the camp. Well, I don't know if it's a camp. What is it, a fort?
Yeah.
Compound?
Yeah, there you go. Compound. That's good.
And then next scene we've got Locke and Ethan. Who's that?
What the fuck?
This guy came out of nowhere. Locke and Ethan talking to Hurley. You know, they just gotten back from hunting. I think. Wait, what are they doing? Oh, they found some supplies that they are giving to Hurley.
You're asking me what they're doing?
I forgot. And then I think they were going to go hunting, though. That's the idea.
Yeah.
And they claim that night is the best time to hunt. And I'm
Right.
thinking, oh, really? When you can't see anything, that's the best time to throw knives around?
Oh, when you say it like that, it sounds like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, night's the best time to hunt when we have no way of seeing it. And, of course, they get to make these torches out of thin air that they can use. But even that, I mean, the animals would hear and see that coming. You know, they would see the flames and, like, run away. But whatever. Maybe the animals are sleeping. They can creep up on them.
Whenever they want torches, they get torches.
Yeah, they go to the torch machine. They put in a nickel, and a torch comes out.
That's cheap.
Yeah, hey, it's just fire.
You can't get much for a nickel these days.
Well, on an island, you can get a torch for a nickel.
All right.
Yeah, it's not bad. I know Hurley thinks they have it bad, but if he knew how much torches cost here in the States. But then again, he's a millionaire, so he wouldn't care.
Yeah, not really.
That's kind of suck for Hurley, though.
Yeah, it really does. But he's the kind of guy who doesn't really, like, care that much.
Yeah, right? That's good. I just wonder, I think because like, his mom or his dad has that money now.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Because he had a financial manager in lawyers and stuff, so, you know, I'm sure he had a will.
He must have had a will.
Yeah, they would have made him have a will, so. He probably left it to his mom.
Yeah, definitely left it to his mom.
Mamacita. Okay, I don't want to say that to Hurley's mom. So next scene we got Mikey and, Michael.
Not Mikey.
Not Mikey. What? Mikey's here?
I think I see Mikey in the background.
Yeah, he's playing golf. Yeah, shut up. So, Michael and Jack are playing golf against Charlie and Hurley, and the hypochondriac guy comes over. I feel like I missed something. I skipped really far. Sorry, I went to the wrong page. I'm like, they haven't even shown, Hurley hasn't even shown them the golf course. Somebody's playing. Sorry, I skipped to scene 20. Let me go to scene 10 now.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't even notice. You don't even know what's going on.
No, I don't remember how the episode went. I'm just along for the ride.
And then Locke said, "Don't tell me what I can't do," and then the end.
Oh, okay.
All right, so next scene, Walt wakes up and talks to Locke, and he says he wants to go hunting. And Mike wakes up and says, "Nuh-uh, not so fast, buddy boy. Go back to bed." And then Hurley, looking in the stuff that Locke gave him, finds something that deserves a whoa, dude. Because he says, "Whoa, dude."
Oh, yeah, right.
Next scene, back at the torture chamber, Saeed tells his story to Danielle. Oh, sorry. I was trying to understand what this note meant. I just made a typo. And now it makes sense. So basically, this is the scene when, if you were just watching, you find out that she's the French woman.
Yeah.
She's the one who left her recording so many years ago. But, of course, Danielle doesn't think that Danielle doesn't believe his story. She thinks he's another, and then she knocks him out. There's a lot of passing out and getting knocked out in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to end the scene.
Yeah.
You can't have a scene when no one's there conscious. next scene, he wakes up and Danielle's going through his stuff. He sees her name on a jacket, and, says, Rousseau. And then she finds his pictures of Nadia.
Oh.
Now, here's a question. Why? What's the deal with her name being on this jacket?
I don't know.
Because to me, that's really weird. The way the name was on the jacket.
Yeah.
How big and it just looked strange. It looked very suspect to me. That her last name would be so big on the back of a jacket.
Yeah, it's pretty.
What situation would you be in where you need to have your name on the back of a jacket like that?
I have no idea.
Are you ready for my crackpot Rousseau theory?
Oh no!
Are you ready?
Don't let it hang on the jacket with her name on it. Oh
no,
God.
That's only one part. Maybe I'll save it. I mean, it's not just the jacket, believe me.
I want to hear. Oh, it depends on stuff from later?
No. Well, yeah, it's everything. It's everything. It's a culmination of everything we know about Rousseau.
All right, go ahead and say it.
Well, basically, it boils down to this. I don't think she was part of a science team.
Okay.
I don't think she's a scientist.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, refresh my memory, but I can't really think of anything I've seen her do that a scientist would do. I know that sounds funny to say, but really, some of the people who have certain skills and certain, their occupations have found the usefulness on the island. Jack, of course. Even Arndt had stuff to say. Being a science teacher and. Obviously with the Nicky and Paolo flashback, we saw him with the bugs.
The only example I can think of is Juliet's a real scientist.
Say that again?
Juliet's a real scientist.
Yeah, Juliet is a real scientist, and we've seen her do science things.
The stuff she's done demonstrated that quality.
Yeah.
But, Rousseau is in a unique situation. She's not living with other people. She's been, by herself for 16 years. I think that might have some effect on your psychology and behavior patterns. And, what could she have done that would have demonstrated her scientist?
Well, let's see. Not shoot people with rifles. Not torture people with makeshift battery devices. To me, I really think, and I'm pretty close to wanting to really believing this, is that she's something to do with not an escaped convict, but to me she has shown certain skills. It's hard to say sometimes. Shown certain skills. Oh, that's easy. Where I think she was maybe some sort of criminal almost. Because she's really adept at trap making. Scientists are not trap makers, okay? Now, I would say if she was a scientist, that maybe, depending on the science, that maybe she had, this sort of knowledge about how things work, and so she kind of figure out how to make traps. But she's really good at making traps, and different kind of traps. And to me, that's not a scientist. And that and some of the other things she's done, I just don't think it adds up. And her whole story to begin with, I think is a little strange.
Yeah.
Here's a story I'd like to paint for you. Follow me back in time, 16 years ago. What if Rousseau was, I don't know, just say she was she was a prisoner. I don't know. She was on a ship or something, and they were, pregnant, of course, I believe that.
A pregnant prisoner.
They were, yeah, right. I mean, it happens.
Makes me wonder, what do they do if you're pregnant and you're a prisoner?
Well, it depends. But I'm thinking something along the lines of she crashed there, because even Saeed says, a science team with rifles. I mean, that's strange.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking something along the lines they crashed there, and it's kind of like Kate. She had the opportunity to escape, and so she killed the rest of the people because they were her captors.
I see.
Something like that. Very loose theory. Because I think at the very least, Like
no Robert, no Monton losing his arm.
I believe some of that, yeah. Or maybe they were. I don't know. See, her being pregnant really fouls things up. Because I could see them being like a team of mercenaries or something. Like maybe being, maybe they were being paid to go to the island and kidnap Ben or something, or I don't know what, But her being pregnant really fouls things up.
Yeah.
I just don't buy the science story. I just don't buy that.
I agree. It's not plausible, but I do buy it.
You'll buy anything, though.
Yeah. I might.
All right. Well,
at the right
season
price.
4 rolls around. We'll see.
Yeah, one of these days we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that Rousseau flashback and fill in all the details, or at least some of them.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get a flashback. Saeed is questioning Nadia in relationship to the bombing, and then we find out that Saeed and Nadia were friends when they were kids, and they haven't really seen each other since. Nadia's not going to say anything, and then Saeed says, well, he's going to have to hurt her. Next scene, we've got Danielle. She wants to know more about Nadia, and then Saeed wants to know who Alex is. Next scene, Hurley gets things. He's like busy going around and getting things together for his very special secret project. Who knows what it is? And scene after that, we're back with Danielle and Saeed. She doesn't believe, she doesn't believe his story, and then, Saeed tells her the story, confesses that he's responsible for Nadia's death, and then Danielle gets really creepy and looks like she's going to kiss him. Very scary, but good acting. Next scene, Mike shows Jack his plans for a shower system. Which I don't think they ever built.
No, they never got that together. They kind of, they just didn't.
It started working on the raft too soon.
Yeah, that's right. That was what occupied him.
Like, why take a shower when I can get off the island?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Maybe I'm relegating myself to staying here a little too soon. Maybe I should try to get off first.
Yeah.
Before I bathe here.
There will be lots of showers once I leave.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, guys, if you only know what he's going to do to you next season. If you only know.
But he seems like such a nice, well-meaning father. What could he possibly do?
He's only been a father for a week.
Ooh.
Okay, so Okay, so then, Charlie comes in and tells everyone that Hurley wants to show them something. And by everyone, I mean Mike and Jack. So then they go, next scene, Hurley displays his golf course, 2 holes, par 3. The guys think that he's been wasting his time, blah, blah, blah. Next scene, Danielle asks Saeed to fix her music box. Let's see, sorry, I wrote a note there. Then he says, okay, I guess. Next scene, Mike and Jack are playing golf against Charlie and Hurley, as you may remember from earlier. This time it actually happens. And then the hypochondriac guy, what's his name? Stevenson? Sullivan. He comes over and he wants to play, and basically the secret's out. And next scene, Saeed wakes up. He's chained to a chair now, and so he can fix the music box, of course. And he and Russo make small talk while he fixes the box, and, he makes the note, a science team armed with rifles, Then we get some details about her backstory. As she tells it, they were 3 days out of Tahiti, and then, it was about 2 months later that the sickness, the sort of events of the sickness started, and she claims that the others are the carriers, and she hasn't seen them, but they whisper.
Right. So
sweet nothing's in my ear.
So I wanted to mention the as I remembered it, she wasn't on the island that long. I didn't remember it being 2 months.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So that would mean that she couldn't have been, because she mentions later that she, when she delivered a baby, she had already, killed everybody and stuff, which makes you think that she wasn't that, she was only maybe 7 months pregnant or so when they actually crashed on the island.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't really add up to how it's, because I believe, and I don't know when she said that, but didn't she say, soon after she crashed, she had the baby?
Yeah. Yeah, I think she might. I know they talked to her in numbers. She appears in several later episodes. At some point, she talks about that. But I don't remember when. Well,
the handy-dandy thing here will tell us. Okay, I guess she never says that. How about this? All right, this isn't working. I'm trying to search the transcripts for the thing.
What are you searching?
Danielle Rousseau. Well, I'm searching for her line about when the others came. Oh, you know what? Wasn't it the episode where she fakes the smoke?
Could be. That's the finale.
Yeah, well, this thing doesn't seem to work. Anyway, I don't know. I'd like to figure out what exactly she said, but I don't know. This isn't working. So anyway, she claims in this episode at least it was 2 months.
Which is not what I thought. I got the impression they got there and,
Yeah,
I thought it was 2 weeks soon. Maybe.
Yeah.
And she had the kid and killed everybody, and the others took her baby, in short order.
Boom, bam, boom.
This gives a very different impression. They were just hanging out for a while, and then, shit happened.
Yeah, I don't think that, I guess the idea is that the others didn't really find them, that soon.
Yeah.
Didn't know they were on the island that soon. Or maybe just waited.
Which makes some amount of sense. I mean, it'd be harder to see, the plane crash was easier for them to observe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Than a shipwreck.
Yeah, nearly 2 months we survived here. 2 months before ... So, yeah. And good question. I think you asked that earlier about the Black Rock, right? Why was she, what were they doing at the Black Rock?
Yeah, she mentions they were coming back from the Black Rock, and it's what are they doing there? It's...
Or maybe she just says that so they'll have a reason to go there later.
Yeah, maybe. There's always those meta reasons for people to say things.
Yeah.
But I was hoping there might be a real reason, but I just can't. I mean, from what we've seen in Black Rock, there just isn't much there. There's dynamite, I mean.
Maybe they had just found it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they were just tracking. I mean, I was going to say, well, I don't think they did this then, but I was going to say she had those maps of the island, but she probably did that a lot later. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they had just found the Black Rock. But I always thought that was so weird when she goes, we were coming from the Black Rock. It was them. They were the carriers. Somehow going to the Black Rock, that's where the proof was, that the others are the carriers.
That's the thing. They bring up the Black Rock a few times. We don't see it until the season 1 finale. And I think they're kind of building up the Black Rock as being some kind of scary place. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to imagine that somehow they went there and that's how they discovered that the others were the carriers, which I don't even, whatever. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Especially now. We spent a lot of time with them. I don't think they're carrying shit.
Except indifference towards non-others.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're not sick, besides this whole, like, pregnancy thing, which I don't think is the sickness. They seem to be doing fine as long as they don't have babies, and they certainly didn't give it to the lost people they've had contact with.
Yeah.
So the sickness just looks ridiculous now. I don't know what they were doing with that. I get the sense they've given up on it. I mean, we
don't even. I mean, that's the thing. We don't even know what the symptoms are, right?
I know. We know like nothing about it. And so I don't know. They went through season 3 without even mentioning it, pretty much. We thought it was coming back up in that episode where Claire got sick, but it turned out to be induced by an implant.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the sickness might be dead.
Yeah, and her whole, well, that's later. I'll save that. So, next, let's see. Next scene, we've got Sadia.
That's what you call them as a couple.
Yeah, Sadia. Oops. Sadia and Naeed. Saeed and Nadia, sorry. So Saeed brings Nadia some, I guess, pita bread. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Some sort of
bread thing.
Bread type dish. That looks very dry, but
this is really dry.
Dry but tasty. It's only, I don't know. So next scene, I'm sorry. He brings her some pita bread or something, but she still won't cooperate. So next scene, Boone comes to tell Shannon that someone's built this golf course. And then Kate and Sawyer are talking, as Kate's going to go check it out, and Sawyer doesn't want to. And she recommends that he makes more of an effort, to fit in. But I don't think he will. Call me crazy.
I don't either.
So next scene, Saeed, he's done. He's fixed the music box. And then all of a sudden something roars outside. Danielle says she hopes it's a bear. And she packs her things and goes after it. Why? I don't know. Does she plan to kill the bear and eat it? Is it just her usual bear patrol? I don't know. If it is a bear, why does she need to go kill it? Leave it alone. Yeah, I'm asking you.
Oh, I don't know. She's crazy.
Yeah. And, of course, I think the whole bear thing is really just contrived to get them out of that situation.
Yeah.
So that, say, you could get a rifle and blah, 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 and they could have the whole showdown, blah, blah, blah. Because, as we'll see, the subject of the bear is only there for a second.
Yeah. They don't actually find the bear.
No, they actually forget about the bear.
Mm-hmm.
So the next scene, we've got Saeed, flashback. He's ordered to shoot Nadia. It's been over a month since she's been there, and he's, been interrogating her. And it dawns on me that scenes like this, when there's like a military type situation, and like somebody wants to let the prisoner escape, it only really works if like the good guy, like the Saeed guy, is like, kind of up in the chain of command, because he gets to go tell those guards to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if he wasn't, an officer or whatever, he wouldn't be able to do that, because that's obviously against protocol. Why? Oh, don't worry about it, guards. I'll take this one. Like that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it only works if you're up in the chain of command. You can't just be like a private and be like, hey guards, I'll take this one. Yeah, get out of here, buddy. Get out of here, Gomer Pyle. So anyway, next scene, he comes in for Nadia and then grabs her. And the next scene, he helps her escape, wait, what am I saying? Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. The next scene is back on the island, Saeed is escaping.
Okay.
Escaping from the
chains.
Yeah, I'm like, Saeed escapes the chains. I don't remember Nadia being chained.
Oh, God.
So, sorry. Saeed is escaping Danielle's little torture chamber, and, he grabs her maps, and he grabs the rifle, and then he leaves. And he leaves the pictures of Nadia behind. Uh-oh.
Spaghetti.
I don't want to look at those anymore. Next scene, we've got everyone is watching as Jack and the gang play golf. Walt comes up to Michael and says, "Hey, you left me alone in the cave." And Mike's like, "Hey, you want to play?" And it's like, this is really weird. I remember when I first saw this thinking it was weird. Like, he's like, "Hey, man, you want to play golf?" And Walt's like, no, there's people who are, and that's okay. There's other people who wanted to play. "Oh, no, they'll let you play." And then they're like, "Hey, Mike, it's your turn." "Okay, bye, Walt." Like, how come he didn't give his turn to Walt? Like,
I know, that's exactly what I was thinking. It was the obvious chance to let him play. And he's like, "Well,
yeah.
See you later."
"Oh, you say you don't want to play? Bye, my turn." It's so weird.
He wasn't willing to give up his turn, and then Walt leaves.
And then he just let him go back. I mean, the whole point was that you left me alone.
Yeah.
And then, like, okay, now go be alone.
Mhm.
So weird. What a great dad.
Yeah. This isn't one of his shining moments.
He has very few, actually. He really does. I think building the raft is the best thing he's ever done, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not that led to a lot, but it was still an accomplishment.
Mhm.
Next scene, we've got Danielle. She's tracking something in the woods. Let's all hope it's a bear, but it won't matter. Saeed comes from behind, and he tells her to put the gun down, but she aims her gun at him, and, a little standoff there. Flashback, Saeed has escorted Nadia to her death. He relieves the guards and helps her escape, and he tells her to go get in the supply truck and escape into town, and he fakes her escape by shooting himself and shooting his superior, which is something Michael will do later, the old fake shoot.
And we all thought, I remember thinking at the time, Saeed will realize because he did the same thing, but he never did.
Yeah, no. And that, and that's what it was funny when I think about this scene. It made me think, wow, you better hope that that superior officer guy is dead because of his Ridley. Because he only shot him once,
Mm-hmm. And
I'm like, man, if he's still alive, he could be like, Saeed Jarrah, kill him,
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Nope.
Let's see. Next scene, we're back on the island with the standoff with Saeed and Rousseau, and it's weird because they do this scene twice. The first time, Danielle raises her gun and like aims it at him, and he doesn't shoot. And the next time, her gun is down and she raises it up.
Okay, wait, do over.
Yeah, do over.
Lower your rifle and try it again.
Yeah, so crazy.
The miracle of television.
The miracle. What is the miracle? Only on ABC.
Mhm.
Or CTV in Canada. Or any other network if you're in a different country.
Right.
Only on those.
Or even iTunes.
Or even iTunes if you download it. $1.99 an episode.
Mhm.
I don't know. You ask me, that's a deal.
I agree.
It's a steal of a deal.
Oh, yeah.
A bargain, perhaps. All right, I'm going to continue.
All right.
So, Saeed pulls the trigger on Danielle, but alas, the firing pin has been removed.
Oh,
Robert didn't notice either. I'm so cunning in my French ways. So anyway, she tells the story of how Robert and the rest died, and she doesn't want to let Saeed go. And then Saeed, the same thing he did before, and it's really just a writing thing, but it also feels like Saeed is somehow, very conniving or something, because he tells another story of Nadia, which makes her let her guard down. The first time he tells her, he was responsible for her death, and now he's telling her that, on the back of the pictures that Nadia wrote, you'll find me in the next life and not in this one.
Yeah.
Which helps to, put Rousseau at ease, or feel sorry for him or whatever happened. But it just seems like he's doing that on purpose. Like, here's a sad thing I can tell you about.
Right.
Me.
You going to shoot me after I say this?
No, you can't shoot me. There's a lady who I killed who loved me and who shall love me again in the next life. So anyway, she puts the gun down, and she warns Saeed to watch over the Losties very closely. And then he asks who Alex is, and she says, Alex was my child. And then I ask the question, where's the bear?
Why are you worried about the bear?
She just goes off, and I don't know where she's gone, but she left.
Yeah.
Next scene.
She does that, Russo. She can just leave. Who knows where she
just
goes?
Leaves. Nowhere. Back to Maui.
Oh.
So next scene, Charlie is facing off, or actually Jack is facing off against Charlie, and people start making bets, and then Sawyer comes in, surprise, surprise, to make an effort.
What?
And he comes in and bets. But you can't bet because he just bet.
You can't bet. He bet.
I just bet. You can't bet. I just bet. Love that.
Now, this is pretty trivial, but I'd like to understand how this works.
Okay.
This whole, I'm going to say something, and, I say he doesn't make it, and I got blah, blah, blah that says that. Like Sawyer, for instance, says, I got 2 tubes of sunscreen and a flashlight that says he chokes. Okay? So let's say Jack does choke. Let's say Jack does not make it. So Sawyer was correct.
Yeah.
What happens? What?
Basically, see, the problem is they're betting limited. He's betting limited resources. I would only guess that there's probably only 2 tubes of sunscreen on the whole island. So what should happen is he should get what he bet from whoever took his bet, which is Kate, and Boone took it too.
Okay.
So he should get the same thing from them. But of course, they probably don't have those things.
So the idea is if Jack doesn't make it, then Boone and Kate are supposed to give him 2 tubes of sunscreen and a flashlight.
Yes.
Okay, and if Jack makes it, so he's wrong, then he has to give each of them 2 tubes of sunscreen and a flashlight?
Yeah, he would have to give them each 2 tubes of sunscreen and a flashlight.
Okay. Right. Okay. So he stands to lose exactly what he stands to gain.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I didn't understand how that was supposed to work. So the more people that bet against him, the more he might have to give away, or the more he could potentially get.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's basically like, $10 if the team wins. Well, if you bet 20 people that, then that's $200 you can win, or $200 you can lose.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, it's just kind of weird because he's betting something he probably doesn't, really have to give.
Right.
He's probably only got 2 tubes of sunscreen. I can't imagine how many tubes of sunscreen and flashlights he's got. Right? He can't be that many.
He can't be that many.
I know he hoards stuff, but how many could there really be?
I mean, he could have a few. I don't know.
He could have a few, maybe if there were mini ones or something, or if there was
that's the thing. Probably a lot of them would be travel size.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't add up to that much.
Do you really need sunscreen if you're going to Sydney, though?
Oh yeah, it's sunny out there.
Actually, I should say, do you need sunscreen if you're going to L.A.?
Oh well, it's sunny there too.
Yeah, but I don't know. I live in L.A., and I know people who live here, and they don't put on sunscreen all the time. Anyway. That's
if they're going to go hang out on the beach.
There's no beach in L.A. See, that's a misnomer. That's a whatever it's called.
There's no beach around the area?
There's no beach in L.A. It's just like everybody thinks, when you're in Texas, like you live on a farm. There's no beach in L.A.
Really?
L.A. is actually 12 miles inland.
No, I know, but isn't there a beach that you can drive to?
That's a joke. I'm joking.
Oh, God.
L.A. is not 12 miles inland. It's right on the coast.
Okay. God.
See, I joke because it's funny, I thought. Right? Funny. Haha.
I really believed you, and I was invested in the conversation. I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, I was like, L.A. is 12 miles inland. You're like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, but isn't there? Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, I know. So that was my joke.
Okay. Whew. So what I said is true. They could go hang out on the beach.
If you were going to L.A. to go hang out at the beach, yes, that is true.
But I think a lot of them, well...
I mean, if you're in Sydney, you got a beach there, don't you?
Different people were doing different things. Yeah, but I think in Australia, if you're going to go do outdoor activities...
Stay where you are.
Sunblock wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. If that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. Which, Locke was going to do. He should have some.
Well, yeah, he was, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, if he was outside, he'd get burned. With that bald head,
Yeah, he's in the Outback, though. There's no sun in the Outback. Did you believe that one?
Yeah, no.
You almost did. All right, so that's how that works.
Yeah, I've seen people bet like that, and I guess I never quite understood what was supposed to happen. So,
yeah, that's my understanding of the situation.
Now I feel educated.
It's just a regular bet, right?
It makes sense. I guess what I thought made it a silly thing to do. What I thought was, since he was betting 2 tubes of sunscreen and a flashlight, I'm like, what do you gain? I mean, I didn't understand they had to give him that. I felt like if he lost, or I felt like if he won, he didn't get anything.
Well, essentially, you can bet whatever you want. I mean, they could be like, he could be like, I'll give you 2 tubes of, I've got 2 tubes of sunscreen and a flashlight. That's his bet. Now, someone else could say, okay, well, I've got, if money was valuable, $20 on that. And if he thinks that's about, an equal amount, then he can take that, and he would get $20, and then they would get the flashlight, depending on who won, the stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be the same thing, but since they didn't say that they were going to bet something else, although I think Boone said something about $10, because Hurley says $5. He's obviously joking, and then Boone says 10. I don't really think they have money to be giving because it doesn't even matter. I don't know. Maybe they do, because Sullivan says, I don't have any cash, but I'll bet my dinner.
Yeah.
So who knows if they were really going to give each other money, because that's kind of pointless. But
it is.
Especially Hurley. I mean, Hurley's got money.
Yeah, Hurley just...
Only $5? Come on, Hurley.
Yeah, come on. You're holding out on us, Hugo. So I learned something. I'm glad.
Well, that's good. Maybe I'll learn something in your episode.
I always thought it was stupid. I'm like, well, if you lose, you have to give this up, and if you win, you don't get anything. This is a stupid bet.
Well, no, that's the whole point. If you take somebody's bet, you're agreeing to the to what you're betting.
Yeah, that's the Well, but the only thing about it is, the more people bet, it gets scarier. I guess it depends on what the odds are, but the more people that take your bet, the more you stand to lose.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. They only gain 1 unit of that, but you gain multiple units of whatever the bet is.
Yeah.
Because if you bet 20 people, you gain 20 times as much as you had, and they individually only get 1 unit of whatever it is.
But they only stand to lose 1 unit, so it's still it's still fair. It's just, but they don't get as much out of the situation.
It's better for you though, because you can win a lot more, but you could also lose a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Okay. So there's some balance there. That's not bad.
Yeah. Next scene, we've got Locke. He's practicing his knife throwing, and Walt comes and joins him, and he wants to learn how to do it. Then Locke kind of gives him the knife, and he's going to go help. He's going to let him practice. The next scene, we got Saeed making his way back to the camp. It's starting to get dark, and he's running he's hobbling really fast because he's sort of got a makeshift crutch. And he starts to hear whispers. And to me, this was a very scary scene and one of the best endings ever.
Yeah,
I love the end of this episode. It's great because he's freaked out. He just heard all these stories, from this crazy lady he didn't believe, and now here's these whispers that are freaking him out, and he doesn't know what to do. This is the way they shot it, like so close to his face.
Yeah,
it's very good.
I agree. Yeah, that was a good one. Good scene.
And there you have Solitary.
Lost. Done.
Lost.
Nice. All right. Well, good choice. Lots of stuff there.
Wow, we've been breezing through these.
We're breezy.
Wow, we'll probably be done in an hour. You have yours to do.
That's right. All right. Well, I guess I'll get started. Next episode, Raised by Another. Here we go.
Yay!
We start off with Claire's dream. She hears the baby, and she's not pregnant. And we start off with her eye opening, by the way. Then she gets up and walks into the jungle, following the sound of the baby. And she runs into card-playing Dream Lock, and he has a white eye and a black eye. And after saying some sort of ominous but plot-relevant things, and then Claire follows the baby again to a crib in the woods. There's the famous Oceanic Mobile on the crib. And then she pulls back the blankets to find blood, and then she screams and comes out of her dream state. And Charlie's trying to stop her hysterics. She was sleepwalking, apparently, and she has blood on her hands. And then Lost, the title, Lost. And then the show starts, I guess. We get Jack fixing Claire's wounds. Jack questions her about her medical situation as far as the pregnancy goes. And then we move into a flashback. Claire and her boyfriend, I guess, Thomas, fret about the results of her pregnancy test, and Thomas suggests, after a bit of fretting, Thomas suggests the idea of them, having a baby and having a family, and he doesn't really say much, but that's what he's implying. And then they talk about it a little bit more, and then Claire seems to give in to the idea. And then we move back to the island. Jack goes to talk to Kate, who's standing on the beach thinking. And they talk about a few things. They talk about Saeed being gone, and then they talk about Claire's baby, basically this episode and the last one. And then Charlie and Claire are out in the woods having a cup of tea.
Which I always thought it was imaginary tea. It just looks like anything was in those cups.
Yeah, kind of like the peanut butter thing.
Yeah, I just feel like that was like imaginary tea. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think you ever see liquid there.
No.
But and I did wonder where they got the tea from.
Where did you get tea? How do you brew some tea?
And especially since tea parties are famous.
And are Australians known for drinking tea? Do Australians drink a lot of tea? Because Claire's not British.
I guess. I mean, they might have inherited that from their British ancestors.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really don't know what the tea drinking situation in Australia is. And maybe one of our Australian listeners can tell us.
I'm looking at Perry.
How prevalent. Perry. There's another one too, I think. tell us how prevalent tea drinking is in Australia. I really don't know. I could believe that they do it, maybe not as much, or it isn't as important, but maybe it's more important than it is here, which is to say not important at all.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So if it's important in the least, then it's more important than it is here.
Yeah. Hot tea is just not even a thing here. It's all about coffee or iced tea if you want tea. So anyway, so they're having the tea. Charlie talks about, he shares a dream of his, and then he suggests to Claire that they be friends. Claire...
in the biblical sense.
In the biblical sense. And Claire just says, Charlie, I don't know, I guess she doesn't know how to respond. And then Charlie says, oh, that's okay, never mind, and sort of walks away.
Oh, strike two, Charlie.
A bit rebuffed. So then we move to a flashback. Claire and her friend, I don't know what her name is.
That's Rachel.
Rachel, huh? Okay. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's Rachel. You don't believe me.
The way you said that scared me. Okay, it is Rachel.
No, it's Rachel because, remember, she was, if you do remember, there was a Rachel involved with the lost experience.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
People thought
Rachel Blake,
was the same Rachel, and so I always remember that name because of that.
That's weird. I mean, you saw her. It was definitely not the same person. That's really weird. Maybe there was a while before you found out what she looked like.
I think in the very beginning of it, there was only like an audio message or something on the website, something weird like that, and it was like, this is Rachel and blah, 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 and I'm going to take these guys down or something weird. And, I don't know if she had an accent, though.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing I was going to say. I mean, the Rachel Blake in the thing had an American accent.
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah. People come up with anything.
Hey, at least the names were the same.
That's true.
Give them that much.
They were the same. I didn't remember. It just seemed wrong. But okay. So Claire and her friend Rachel talk about Claire moving in with Thomas, and then they change the subject to the psychic that they're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they go to the psychic's house, and inside the psychic's house, he begins to give Claire a reading. He asks her about the baby. I hate that thing that they do where so when'd you find out?
Mm-hmm.
That could mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
I guess
so when'd you find out? When I walked in on him and he was sleeping with my sister.
Yeah.
When I came home from work early. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, you mean the baby? Oh.
When my boss called me in and told me the company was making cutbacks, and there's all sorts of things you could find out. And it's one of those things, one of those techniques you can use to kind of try to pull information from people, make it seem like you're psychic. Of course, he does actually say something that indicates that he is psychic, but that setup just seems weird to me. It seems like he could just say, and why don't you know? It seems like he should know, but whatever.
Yeah, I think it's partly a writing thing and partly they're writing for a psychic, so they want to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a regular crackpot psychic would have just been like, so when'd you find out? What, about the baby? Yeah, the baby.
Yeah. And they get the impression that you really knew what they were saying. It's, oh, God, he knew.
So it is pretty crazy. She's only been pregnant about, less than, about 6 weeks or less at this point. So, that's pretty crazy that he could know or have even found out.
That's the thing, and that's all part of the fine line between fraud and real psychic that he.
Well, the best way for him to have found out that she's pregnant is for him to go rooting through her trash and find the pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Now, that's fairly easy to do if you know she's going to come.
If you know she's coming. And the only way I can imagine that he would know that is if the friend tipped him off.
And why would she do that?
The
only reason for her to do that would be if she was going to make some money off of it, or if she wanted him to tell Claire something specific, like don't move in with the guy, or give the baby, like if she was trying to convince Claire to do something, and she thought, oh, I'll just pay a psychic to tell her, and then she'll believe her.
Yeah.
Believe the thing. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It just seems like a bad thing, for him to, if he takes walk-ins, he's not going to have time to collect information on them.
Yeah.
It's the only way he can really do it is if he knows who's coming in advance. And maybe they make appointments or something, and he has time to look into them a bit. I don't know, but it certainly doesn't seem that way in this episode. So anyway, he
that psychic in Dallas, like when you're driving on 35 South. Have you ever seen that psychic? It's like a house with a big palm. It's like a palm reader. You ever seen that house?
I think I have.
Right off of 35 near like Zang.
Oh, down there.
Yeah, literally like 12th and Zang. Where that big bank.
I should have seen it, but I just don't. I don't remember. I've definitely been there. Not to the place, but in the area.
When I was in Dallas recently, I saw that place, and it's ever since I was a kid, that place has been there, and I just can't believe they're still like in business making money or what. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen anybody go there, but it's like this big house, but on the front it's got this neon sign that says like psychic palm reader with a big hand.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we had a psychic little place like just like literally, half a block down the street, in this little sort of shop complex kind of area, and they never seemed to get any business, but they were there for a long time. We never really saw anybody there. They always seemed empty.
Wait, was it just a business, or was it a house too?
No, it was just a business. It was in a business, like it was in one of those like
shopping center kind of thing?
I don't know what they're called. It's not a shopping center. It's more of a quaint version of that, like something you would see in downtown or something. Just like a row of businesses, but it's not a shopping center. It's not that big.
Yeah.
But it's not houses either. They're business building places. I don't know what the word is for those.
Business building places. I think you said it right the first time.
I don't think it's very eloquent. I'm sure there's a better word.
CVP.
All right, there you go. So yeah, anyway, we always thought that was weird that they stayed there. But I guess somebody went, or they wouldn't have stayed in business for so long.
Wasn't there a psychic off of, or maybe you're talking about the same thing. Are you talking about off of Greenville?
Yeah.
Oh, then I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that place.
Yeah.
But didn't that place have a connection to the mob or something? Didn't I hear that?
That was a theory we had. I didn't bring that up, but
I heard a theory that the place was always there because it has a good connection to the mob. Oh, Campese's too, right?
Oh, yeah, Campese's, the Egyptian pizza restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Campese's, all sorts of mob connections where I used to
Dallas.
live.
Of all places.
You wouldn't think so, but...
Yeah, when the mob got run out of New York in the 50s, we relocated to Dallas.
Oh, we're trying to put a little fun in our bleary lives. Give us a break.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Like, ooh, maybe it's the mob. Ooh, that'll make living in Dallas more interesting.
Yeah. It didn't, though.
It didn't.
It still sucked. It was just Dallas with imaginary mobsters.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
The same shit. Okay, anyway. So he asked her about the baby, And then after a bit, he started closing his eyes and getting the vision, I guess, and then he seems to get disturbed about something he sees and then refuses to do the reading, and he sort of shoos Claire out, and so they leave. And then the next, I don't really know how this segues, but apparently the next thing that happens is Claire has that vision where she sees Ethan injecting her, I guess, that famous thing that she saw. She saw a couple times. She sees it again later in maternity leave, and so she starts screaming, and then Jack. What?
Not to mince words, but is that a vision she saw, or is that just what happened?
Yeah, well, I put vision/real experience.
Okay.
Because I guess it's supposed to be real, but the Jack's big theory is that she's imagining it.
Yeah, we think she's imagining it, but yeah, okay.
But yeah, I guess it really did happen. I don't know. I didn't quite phrase it that way. Anyway, so Jack and Charlie go over there, and then Charlie leaves to find the guy. Jack stays there, and then Michael comes over and asks about the guy, and then Claire tells them about the guy.
What guy are you talking about?
Ethan.
Oh, the guy who injected Claire?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm phrasing it that way because they don't know who it is.
Oh, I see.
At the time, they're just talking about a hypothetical person who's attacked her.
I love when it happens and she's screaming and everyone comes running over and Ethan comes running over.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the second person they cut to in that whole thing, and you think, well, it can't be him. He's standing right there.
Right. That'd just be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, Claire tells him that he had a needle, and that's that. And then Jack goes over to Hurley, who's off looking for this attacker, and Hurley has a torch, of course. And
one nickel, please.
Right. Oh God, I lost my place. Oh God, what happened? Oh, here it is. Okay, sorry. Hurley realizes at that point, this is pretty much the plot moving itself forward. At this point, he realizes that they don't know who each other are, and the one thing that occurred to me is that Ethan doing this is what sets Hurley off doing this census thing.
Yeah.
Like it's Ethan's, doing this that causes him to get caught, really.
Yeah.
So it never really occurred to me that he kind of did himself in. Hurley didn't just think of this out of nowhere. It was this situation that made him think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he would have eventually anyway, but maybe it would have been later. I don't know. So anyway, Hurley brings up the census idea at this point because they want to know who's there. So I guess so they can hold people responsible for doing things.
Yeah, dude, we don't know who's living at the beach, who's living anywhere, man.
My name's not even Hurley, man.
I love that. That's a great way to prove his point, but to also make himself seem suspect.
Yeah.
We don't know who anybody is. Case in point, you don't know who I am. Whoa, you're right. And who are you? Now I'm scared.
Yeah. Yeah, but who can suspect Hurley?
We never found out why he's called Hurley, have we?
No. No, we still don't know.
Lost Mystery 3582.
One of the few things that's still up in the air. I don't know how important it is, but
one of the few things left in the air?
Oh. What? Did I say that?
Yeah. There's plenty left in the air.
What I meant was one of the few things from these episodes left in the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. God, I don't even remember I said that.
2.5 seconds ago.
I'm like, oh shit, did I just make a ridiculous statement? Yeah. Okay, so in the next, then we go to Charlie comforting Claire, and he promises not to leave her. Then we move into a flashback Claire's hanging drapes, and Thomas comes home. Thomas looks troubled, and then
Tommy. Oh, Tommy, you really let me down, buddy. You really let me down.
And it wasn't just about the chips.
It wasn't about the chips. I love how she says that. Oh, don't worry, I didn't eat all the chips.
Like he
really
was,
thought,
oh,
he really
no
thought that was going to be it. And by chips, did she mean French fries, or did she mean potato chips? That's
no. She should have said crisps, but they're Australian. Who knows what they say?
Who knows what they say?
Perry, come on.
Perry?
What do they call chips in Australia? And what do they call French fries?
Well, hey, matter of fact, give us a list of all the foods and what you call them. All the foods.
Okay.
As it's been said before, Thomas looks a lot like Michael Emerson.
Yeah.
And, like a lot. Like, that could be his son. Like,
yeah,
crazy.
Definitely.
They got the same, and it's funny like that in this scene when, like, you see the back of his head. I'm like, that could be the back of
he's got the same kind of hairstyle. It's pretty uncanny.
I'm surprised they're not related somehow.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, that fueled a lot of theories, their similarity in appearance, and him doing the artwork, that appeared similar form later in the mural.
Claire, I can't have this baby with you. I'm an other. No, I don't buy that, but...
Me either.
It was really sad because, like, he was so happy-go-lucky to have the baby with her, and then, like, I guess he didn't think it through.
Yeah. You know what? Now it's real.
Yeah, he goes, now I don't feel like I'm getting attention. He goes, man, all this responsibility, got to be here, got to be there, and the baby's not even here yet, And he totally bailed, and it's weird to be like, this is over. I mean, it's weird to say this is over when you're having a baby with someone.
Yeah.
Because it's not over. She's going to have that baby still. But
he's going to play no part in the baby's life, nor in hers.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, it's a shitty thing to do. Talk her into having the baby and then walk out on her.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
He's an ass. But,
and then he pulls the entrapment card, like, oh, you were supposed to be on the pill.
Yeah.
Thing.
Now he busts that out.
That's probably like next to like you're fat. That's probably like the worst thing a woman ever wants to hear. Especially if she's pregnant in both cases. Yeah.
Oh.
Don't want to hear you're fat, especially if you're pregnant. And if you're pregnant, you don't want to hear you tried me in this.
Yeah. Yeah, she seemed genuinely upset. I don't get the sense she really did that.
No. I always thought it was weird too in that earlier scene when she finds out she's pregnant. She says that her mom was going to disown her.
Yeah.
Is that just because she's fairly young, or because she wasn't married?
I don't know why, but her mom's 18. In a coma.
That's right.
So I don't know what that means exactly.
Yeah. Forgot about the whole thing. Isn't Kate's mom in a coma too?
Kate's mom, she wasn't in a coma. She was just sick. She had cancer or something.
No, sick mothers.
Sick mommy. Yeah. But yeah, they both got to visit their mom in the hospital and make a heartfelt plea, and yeah. Claire's mom didn't wake up though. So but I think the idea is if she were going to disown her, I guess it's because it would be maybe because she's too young, maybe because it was out of wedlock.
I mean, she's not that young. I mean, she is that young, but I mean, she's like what, 22 or something, or 20 or 19?
Well, I don't know how old her character's supposed to be, but yeah, I guess that's how the act.
I mean, she's definitely not under 18.
Yeah.
And I feel like I thought she's at least 21.
Yeah.
I see those wrinkles, Emily.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too old, I mean, a lot of people have babies at that age, but maybe her mom, thinks you shouldn't because it's irresponsible.
It seemed like maybe the idea is her mom had Claire when she was young.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah, could be one of those
Drama.
things. But, I mean, the reality is I don't think she has an opinion. I don't think she even knew Claire was pregnant, so.
Yeah, and I don't think Claire knew her mom's in a coma at this point.
Yeah, of course she didn't. But, yeah, that's the whole thing. There was a lot of talk about that after the episode where we found out she's in a coma.
My mom's going to disown me once she gets out of her coma.
Yeah, and Thomas says she basically has already. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean if she's in a coma. I don't know that she's in a position to do that, or maybe that's what he's referring to. I don't know.
Wait. What's going on here?
What?
Claire's mom was in the episode with Christian.
No, that was Claire's aunt.
Oh, that was the aunt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We thought it was her mom, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's right. Oops, never mind. So I'm like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Can't pull a fast one over on me.
I'm too clever for you, Mr. Lindelof.
Too clever by half.
So, anyway, Thomas says he can't do this regarding them having a family situation, and then he explains why he doesn't like what they're doing right now. Claire gets upset, they fight, Thomas leaves.
Wah, wah. Never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again, indeed. Back at the cave, Claire sits there. That's a scene for you.
Yay.
Hurley goes up to Locke to include him in the census. He questions Locke a bit, and then Hurley leaves. Apparently he doesn't like Locke very much, or he's scared of him or something. Next scene, Jack Kay and Charlie talk.
Clearly.
And Jack's skeptical that someone actually attacked Claire. He mentions that there's no mark on her stomach. I guess maybe he didn't successfully complete the injection. I was thinking about that, like why she didn't have a mark. But,
I don't know. I just assumed it was a needle and it was a very small mark, and he didn't. I mean, it was dark when he was trying to look in anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, is that the idea that he didn't succeed in? I mean, why does he think he can just inject her while she's sleeping and she won't wake up? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's pretty absurd, his methods. I mean, I don't know how he thinks that's going to go on without incident.
God, I can't imagine. I mean, because if he's injecting to the baby, I mean, he's got to go through he's got to go through a lot of layers of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's really odd. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I just wondered why there wasn't a mark, but yeah, maybe he just didn't see it. I don't know. I thought maybe he didn't actually get the injection done. Who knows? So Charlie defends Claire, and then Jack mentions that the stress could trigger an early labor. Next scene.
Foreshadowing, maybe?
Just maybe.
I love that. It's like, because if they didn't have that, people would be like, oh, why is she going into labor now?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, Jack just said it, and now it's true.
Yeah, you're right. That's, God. Oh, the machinery of writing. It looks so crappy when you know what's going on.
All you have to do is look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
See a man in a typewriter.
I know. It's sad. It's sad. Sometimes I hate noticing that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to just go with it.
The illusion is a lot more mystical than the reality.
Yeah. Oh, well. So anyway, the next scene, Hurley walks over to Ethan to include Ethan in the census. He questions Ethan a bit and then leaves. And I want to note, because one of the things I want to say, I want to advance is the thing I've said before, that Ethan never knew about the manifest. Mm-hmm. And I want to note in this scene, he does not have the manifest. He is just writing names in a notepad.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And so I just want to note that about this scene for future reference. So, okay, next scene, Jack walks up to Claire, who is seemingly writing in her diary that Charlie finds later. Jack tells Claire about his skepticism, and he also tells her about the dangers of stress for pregnant women. Mm-hmm. And he gives her a sedative, wants to give her a sedative, and Claire gets upset that Jack doesn't believe that she was attacked.
Don't believe me?
And then, you think I'm making this up?
Well, what is hacked?
And
you want to give me some sleeping pills? Australian's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do goofy.
Yeah.
You're doing too much, you're goofy.
What do you say there, Jack?
Oh, I'm Australian.
That's weird. I didn't realize how Australian
it's
goofy
a fine line between Australian and goofy.
Oh, we learn a lot on this podcast. So anyway,
we do.
Claire, in a huff, leaves the cave. We move to a flashback. Claire goes back to the psychic to follow up on the earlier experience. She goes inside, and he starts the reading again. He mentions Thomas leaving her, and he gives her a chance to walk away, not knowing what he saw. She refuses, and then he says that it's crucial that she raise the baby, and then she indicates that that's not necessarily what she wants to do. And so he gets upset, and she leaves.
Danger surrounds your baby. Your nature, your spirit, your goodness must be... I like doing that. Okay, sorry.
It's a good one. Claire's in the next scene. It's still a flashback, but it's another scene. Claire's sleeping, and the psychic calls her. He tells her not to give the baby up for adoption there in Australia, but he has a plan. He doesn't reveal what it is, and she hangs up.
Mm-hmm.
And the next scene, Claire's trekking, and then Charlie. What?
Can I just say, he's been calling her for months?
Yeah.
Whatever, like, don't you think she should have, like, gone to the police or made some, she just kind of wakes up and is like, oh, not you again. It's like, come on, like, this guy's crazy. Like, at first he says, okay, oh, I see something bad, I can't have anything to do with you. Then she comes back and is like, oh, okay, I'll do your reading again, even though what I saw was so horrific that I made you leave. But I'll do it again, and oh no, here's what I see. You're the only one who can raise this baby, okay? You are the only one. No one else. That's a couple months later, except for these people. I swear, this whole thing is like, it's very akin to, what is it like? It's like it's almost like the Henry Gale situation.
Yeah.
It's those things where it makes sense, but when you look at when you step back and look at all the evidence, it just doesn't add up.
Right.
It makes sense when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah, it works. It works as the story's developing. But when you start looking back on things, it just doesn't quite make sense. The Henry Gale thing, oh God, that was really bad.
I just remembered something that, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, so, where am I? God. Okay, so then Claire hangs up, right, and then, Claire is trekking through the jungle. Charlie comes up to Claire, and that's a scene. And then we go to Hurley talking to Shannon.
Did they say anything to each other? Charlie just came up to her, and that's it.
I don't know. Did they say anything? I guess they did.
Yeah, they talked.
I guess they talked.
She's basically talking about what Jack tried to do. And
yeah, I didn't write that down. I guess I didn't think it was important. Charlie
comes up to Claire. The end.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird note to end the scene on, but that's what I wrote down. Yeah, they talk about what just happened. So, in the next scene, Hurley's talking to Shannon to include her in the census. And then Boone asks Hurley why he's taking the census. And then Hurley tells them about Claire getting attacked. As a result of this, Shannon decides to not go to the cave. And Boone brings up the idea of the manifest and then sends Hurley to Sawyer because he has it. So this is the first mention of the manifest. Already interviewed Ethan. Already, yeah. So, okay.
Let me ask you a quick question. Why are you trying to make your case that Ethan didn't know about the manifest?
Because in later episodes, Ethan's reason for kidnapping Claire is because they had a manifest. Like that.
So what do you mean? He says that I took her because they knew I wasn't one of them, or what are you saying?
Yeah, but the reason he knows they knew is because they had a manifest.
Okay.
Like that's not the way it plays out in this episode. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the reason he gives later doesn't line up with what happens in this episode.
Okay.
Like my claim is that he didn't know about the manifest in this episode. Later on, he says he did know about the manifest in 2 separate episodes.
Okay. But I wonder if he just means the census in general.
He said the manifest specifically.
No, I understand that. I just wonder if he means like. Well, let's go ahead and finish. But I'm just wondering.
He says they had a manifest. They knew I wasn't on the plane. Like it's.
Yeah, and you're saying he kidnapped her before he even knew because he didn't know about the manifest at all because they didn't know about it until.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the reason he kidnapped Claire. I think the reason he kidnapped Claire is because Charlie told him that she was going into labor.
Yeah.
But somehow that changed later. So anyway, that's the thing I want to just trace through in this episode, briefly in parenthetical comments.
Great.
So anyway, Hurley goes over to Sawyer to ask for the manifest, and Sawyer gives it up without trouble. This is one of those things, people go into Sawyer for stuff that didn't happen in Season 3.
Yeah. Well, it's because Hurley called him on it, right?
Yeah. Hurley disarmed him.
Don't do the thing you normally do.
Yeah.
Because the audience is tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty much.
But it happens some more later. He doesn't give it up for quite some time. So
Sawyer never gives it up.
There was a point where, oh God, there was a point where we were really sick of scenes of people asking Sawyer for shit, and
come on, Sawyer, give it up.
I just realized that's a thing of the past. Yes.
I'm 2 years old.
So, in the next scene, Charlie and Claire are walking. Claire starts to have contractions, and then Claire tells Charlie to go get Jack. The next scene is a flashback. Claire is meeting with the Australian adoptive parents, and Claire gets the paperwork to sign. And before she signs it, she asks them to sing Catch a Falling Star, that whole thing. She tries to sign the paperwork, but the pen doesn't work. The adoptive mother gives her a pen, but she then at that point decides not to go through with it. I don't know if it's nagging doubts about what the psychic said, or if she felt like the pen not working was some kind of sign.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think they tried to make a case that she's somewhat superstitious / something. Mm-hmm. So the pin not working, I think, just redoubled her. Redoubled what? The pin not working reinforced her. They redoubled its efforts to convince her. Blah blah blah. No, the pin not working reinforced her doubts, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. So she just pretty much just walks out on the meeting.
Bye. Hope you didn't really want a baby.
No baby for you, dear.
None for you, dear.
So then she goes back to see the psychic. The cutting gets a little weird here, so it's gonna be a bit jumpy. Anyway, she goes to see the psychic, and then we're back on the island. Charlie's running through the woods. Charlie runs into Ethan. He's just gathering some firewood, presumably. Not looking to me like he knows anything's up.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs into Ethan and tells him that Claire's having a baby and to go get Jack. Ethan drops his firewood and runs away, presumably to get Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie runs back to find Claire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next scene is a flashback. Again, Claire is at the psychic's, and she talks to the psychic and is skeptical about his new plan, which is he's offering her money to give her baby up to a couple in L.A. She's skeptical because his original message was, you have to raise the baby yourself.
Oops.
So this seems a bit odd.
Even to Claire. Even Claire catches the oddness in this situation. That says a lot, folks. That says a lot.
It does. So,
wait a minute.
So then we go back to the island. Claire tells Charlie that the psychic was wrong. I don't remember about what.
When he said that, I thought to myself, what? He just comes out of the blue and says, the psychic was wrong. I was like, what? Okay.
That's the effect of what you say, but I don't remember exactly. Okay, I'm going to that scene. Okay.
Oh, because Claire says, someone promised me it would be different. And she's talking about the psychic, right?
Yes.
Because why does Charlie isn't saying the psychic was wrong. Charlie's saying he was wrong. Charlie doesn't know who she's talking about.
Yeah, Charlie says a psychic. Claire says, I know it's embarrassing, and after everything, he was just full of it.
Oh wait, so he does know who. Wait, what is she tells him about the psychic?
She tells him about the psychic before that scene.
Oh.
Before the flashback. She says someone promised me it would be different, and then Charlie says, well, he was wrong, and Claire says, yeah, he was wrong, and then it goes to the flashback.
Oh.
And then when they come back, Charlie's like, a psychic? I guess he forgot. I don't know. I guess what? No, never mind. I guess what we're supposed to imagine is Claire told him about what we saw, or some version of what we saw in the flashback.
I'm confused.
So
when Charlie says he was wrong, he didn't know who Claire was talking about.
Exactly, because she
hadn't said anything.
She just said
that's what I was thinking.
She just said someone promised me it would be
different.
Yeah,
and Charlie doesn't know or care. He's just saying whoever told you that was wrong.
Yeah.
And then he was, and then we get the flashback,
right.
And then we're supposed to believe that's what. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, I think Charlie's just saying that he doesn't know it's a psychic right away.
Yeah, I agree. I realized that once I read it again.
There you go.
Yeah, so he's pretty much questioning like the flashback or something. You know, we're supposed to imagine he's heard some version of what we saw.
Yeah.
So then Claire, at that point, Claire tells Charlie that the psychic was wrong, and again, I guess. Specifically knowing it's the psychic now. And then Charlie brings up the idea that he wasn't wrong, or that he knew about the crash, and that it would force Claire to raise the baby herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to another flashback where we see that the psychic insisted that she get on flight A15. Which because she basically says, no, can I go later? And I don't really know why she couldn't go later, but anyway, he insists that she get on that flight. And then at that point, we go back to the island. That's why this scene's weird. It's more like back and forth between the flashbacks than normal.
Yeah.
Claire
it kind of tells two stories at once really quickly.
Yeah. It's sort of hard to describe. So anyway, back in the island, Claire decides that, Charlie's right. The psychic knew, and there was no couple in L.A., and we get a quick shot of the psychic in the midst of this as she's saying what she believes is a revelation about his motivations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably worth bringing up at this point that deleted scene from the season 2 DVD. If you can get to the Echo psychic connection, it's a little hard, but if you can get there. There's a little scene where he says that a couple paid him to get a woman to give her baby to them, I guess. That's part of his that was originally part of his speech about being a fraud.
Yeah, exactly. He was basically saying, I'm a fraud, and just, what did he say, last week or something? Or
something like that.
A couple paid him to try to get, that's not even a fraud. That's like that's a different level of, amorality.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with not being a psychic. Only because he tried to use that information to convince her, but the idea that he would agree to that, some random couple,
mm-hmm.
to him, they want a baby, and they know this girl's about to have a baby, so make this girl give us that baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's something only a deplorable human being could really do. That's pretty crazy. Convince her to give us the baby.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anything about us. Now, what do you think, man? I don't even know. I think sometimes, with Lost, I think, when characters say things that they're actually telling us what the writers want us to believe.
Yeah.
To be the truth, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like with Charlie, saying, "Oh, I bet the lockdown was because of the supply drop."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that doesn't make any sense, but that's probably what you want us to think.
Mm-hmm.
So true or false? Let's play a game.
Okay.
Malkin true or false? Malkin actually has psychic powers.
So that's what I was going to say. It's troubling because he does seem to have real psychic power. It seems like
that's
I want to say
true nor false.
I want to say true.
Okay, no. Now, okay, let me rephrase the question.
Okay.
Malkin, okay, I had to rephrase it in my head first. Okay, do you think that Malkin has always had psychic powers?
That's a different question. I guess I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, you're no fun.
He demonstrated them at one point, so he had the potential. I feel like.
Now here's the question.
I feel like the answer should be no, but we have evidence that he does.
Here's the question. Do you think, I feel like a journalist, and you're like my subject who won't give me a straight answer. You're like a politician.
Well, I wish I could. There's
exactly
conflicting evidence.
That's exactly what they say. Just take a stance, sir. Have some balls.
I don't know.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm a woman. Okay, here's the thing. Do you think that the couple came to Malkin before or after Claire's second visit to him when he said, "You're the only one who's supposed to raise this baby"?
I'm going to say after.
Okay, now I agree. Now here's the other question. Do you think that he actually had a psychic premonition that told him she needs to be the one to raise this baby? In that instant, in that second time that she met with him?
It certainly appeared that way to me.
You're skating all around the answers, sir. Your Honor, would you direct the witness to give a yes or no statements, please?
I hate to not qualify it a bit.
Sir, you're going to be in contempt of court here if you cannot just answer yes or no statements.
Okay, I'm going to go
please.
with yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, now, would you agree that leading, Your Honor, sustained?
Stop. Don't object yourself.
I know. Well, I had to. I was leading the witness.
You were out of line.
I was out of line. This whole damn courtroom's out of line. Okay, so this is what I think. Let's not play that game. Let's play the what does Claude think game. Wherein Claude tells you what he thinks.
All right.
I think that...
Can I play too?
Yeah, you can play. Well, no, you can't play this game. You can play what Justin thinks.
Oh. Boo.
Boo. That's not as much fun. But it comes with free nachos. What I want to think is that he is a fraud, okay? He tells Echo, that he's a fraud, he's not a real psychic. I believe that. Now, and then I think that when he touched Claire, he actually got some, we said this before, that he actually got some psychic premonition. Now, to me, what's strange about that, I can't reconcile that with this idea that someone could pay him off and, for her to give up the baby to these random people. I mean, that way, you weigh that against his actual premonition, and if he's not a real psychic, but he actually got that, I mean, that would be really powerful.
Yeah.
To be, to get that. So, I don't know. And then the other side of the coin is that he's not a psychic. He never had a premonition. When he told Claire that, she's the only one who can raise the baby, where is that coming from? Why is he saying that? Who is coercing him to say that?
Who stands to gain if she raises the baby? I mean, it doesn't...
Now, here's the deal. Well, because then that's the other thing too. He says you're the one who can raise this baby, but at that point he wasn't trying to get her to go on a plane anywhere.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's connected to the others at all, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. How do you reconcile those things? I mean, if he's a fraud and he never had a single psychic premonition, then it doesn't make any sense that he would tell her that she's the only one to raise the baby. Unless he's just, I don't know, unless he thought that's what she wanted to hear.
I guess my theory is that he is a fraud in general. He happened to actually have a vision with Claire, but then when he got money, he decided to ignore it and just tell her to go do that.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. You think he knew about the plane crash?
I don't think he knew about the plane crash.
Okay, I don't either.
I think he saw something blurry, and I think it was specifically blurry. He saw something if he saw something, when he says blurry, and I think it was scary. I think he may have known, had a feeling that if I get her on this plane, she will be the one to raise the baby, but I don't think he knew why.
Okay.
Because I don't think he knew that the odds of all those different occurrences would happen, and that this plane was going to crash, and that they would actually still survive, and blah blah blah. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I just think if anything, he had a general sense. Is there any way that someone could have convinced him to tell her that to raise the baby on her own, and then for some reason that wasn't good enough, so they decided to try to get her on the plane?
I guess. I don't guess. I don't see how that could I mean, what would someone benefit from telling Claire she has to be the one to raise the baby? Yeah. No, I agree. That's the thing that's weird about it. It doesn't seem as though he has any motivation for saying that.
Yeah.
You know, if he really is a fraud, his motivation should be money. That's, you know, whatever he does, that's pretty much his primary motivation. So it doesn't seem to me, I mean, he just shooed her away initially. It just doesn't seem to me that, you know, unless it's supposed to be like all part of the ploy, it doesn't seem like he's really doing things that he stands to gain from.
And that's the thing, though, yeah, because the second time, or the first time, he gave her money back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and said, I can't do this reading. I can't put these pieces together. There's too much conflicting evidence. It just doesn't make any sense. And the deleted scene, I mean, is it deleted because, you know, that's not really what happened? You know, they don't want us to believe that, but then, of course, they showed us, and, you know.
Yeah.
They gave us that.
And they didn't, it's notable that they didn't put it in the deleted scene section.
Mm-hmm.
They put it in the connection section.
Yeah.
So, you know, to me that gives it a slightly different status from the actual deleted scenes, even though it was a deleted scene.
Yeah.
You know, they're not deeming it a deleted scene per se. So I guess I want to feel like that stuff's true. But who knows?
Well, we've got 10 minutes left.
Okay, well, we're almost done with this episode.
Cool.
So the next scene, so right, that was supposed to be the big reveal in this episode, and it kind of stands that way until, you know, much later. The next scene after that, Saeed is tromping through the jungle, continuation from your episode,
mm-hmm.
And then we go back to Claire. She thinks the contractions are over. Charlie's happy. Charlie asks Claire if they can go back to the cave, or if she specifically can make it back to the cave, and then Claire agrees, so they get up and go back, try to go back at least. In the next scene, we're back to Saeed. Saeed stumbles into the cave, slightly delirious. He sort of falls down. He mentions the French woman that he, you know, met her, and then ends the scene with a very dramatic, "We're not alone," famous line. So then we go back to Claire and Charlie. They're walking back to the caves, and the baby kicks. Yay. And then at this point, Hurley runs to the caves and delivers the big surprise of the episode. Based on the manifest, he's discovered that Ethan was not on the plane. We all collectively go, shit! And and just as we say that, we see Ethan.
Yeah, shit! I hope he's not a bad guy who's trying to take Claire's baby.
Right. And just at that point, Ethan walks up to Charlie and Claire and says simply, "Hello there." And then we get kind of a close-up on his face, and then a scared Claire, and then that's it. The end of the episode.
Interesting.
Fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah, we'll never know what's going to happen. You know, about Ethan and the manifest, maybe the idea is that he heard, like, you know, when Hurley was getting the manifest from Sawyer and, you know, going around or doing whatever, like maybe the idea is like behind the scenes, I guess maybe after he ran to get Jack or something, he heard that Hurley had a manifest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so basically maybe he heard that Hurley was about to go tell people the big news or something like that right before. So maybe we just didn't see him find out, but or maybe he's just lying.
Yeah. It's possible that he could have found out, but in this episode, it seems as though what sets him off is Claire being in labor.
Yeah.
Because that's what we see him sort of run away from, and you know.
Although she's not in labor anymore.
But I think maybe he thought like the birth was imminent or something, and I got to get her out of here.
Well, and that's the thing. Why get her out of there for what?
Oh,
because he actually, I mean, of course, in you know, the maternity leave, they try to take the baby.
Yeah.
But it seems like, well, from what we know in season 3, they didn't want the baby.
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's why they changed the reason to the manifest, because that gives him a real reason that still holds up for getting out of there.
Yeah, because I don't know what. Why were they even going to take the baby now? I don't even get that. Because they didn't want it. Because their whole thing with babies is because they're trying to, their women can't get pregnant without delivering. So, and Claire didn't conceive on the island, so she should be fine, right?
Yeah.
So, but they take kids in general. That's right.
They do. I feel like maybe they do want the baby, but only as kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
It's really more about Claire being pregnant, but it's all very weird now.
Yeah, it's very muddled, like.
Yeah, and that's the thing about that episode. They had all that exposition that depended on Claire being sick at that moment, which turned out later not to be, true. It was just sort of induced. And so then it called into question what she said before, but I feel like what she said before was true, even though, Claire wasn't sick for a legitimate reason.
Yeah.
So it's kind of problematic. But yeah, God, it's sticky. But I have to say, as you mentioned in your episode, this episode was my pick. I love the ending of this episode.
Good.
Ethan walking up like that, him just standing there saying hello there. It's just, I think it's one of the creepiest things on the show ever.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to do anything. He just sort of stands there, and it's with the surrounding situation. I just love that.
Well, and for a guy who's been helpful and nice the entire time.
Yeah.
It's very scary that, oh, no, he's been undercover this whole time, or what has he been doing and planning? If he had just come out of nowhere and we hadn't seen him before, it would be strange, but it wouldn't be the same
Oh,
reaction.
yeah, the fact that he's been hanging around in the camp and we've had several, scenes with him is what gives the scene the power, definitely.
Yeah.
And having that infiltration and just suddenly finding out just in time for him to do something bad. It's well timed and nicely done. So yeah, no, I agree. That's the biggest part of the creepiness. Having someone infiltrate your group, not knowing. I mean, it's just a creepy thing. So
yeah.
And he's good at looking creepy. So it came together nicely.
That Moppeter quality.
Right.
All the Moppeters are good at looking creepy, especially when they smile.
Right.
Cool. So
Woo!
Our first round of favorites is complete.
All right. Good one.
Good one. Wow. I agree.
So yeah, no, it's I guess next time we'll do the other three.
Next time we'll do the other three. I guess we'll do the second, whatever got the second highest number of votes.
Which right now is Hearts and Minds.
Hearts and Minds. So,
I don't know about that voting, guys. I wouldn't pick that one, but hey.
Yeah, you guys really like that one? You guys really like Hearts and Minds? Maybe they do.
I guess so. I never thought of that as a standout, but, hey, whatever.
So we'll be back at some point. Stay tuned to the website, thelostlowdown.blogspot.com. Join the Frapper, because there's people out there who are not on the Frapper, I think.
Definitely, there must be.
Yeah, I definitely remember a couple names who post but aren't on the Frapper. And have fun watching Harry Potter, for those of you who are into that, the big HP.
Have even more fun reading the final book.
Well, to me, Harry Potter is about the movies. The books are tangential. They're barely related. Come on.
The movies leave too much out. You gotta. If you really want to get into it, you gotta read the books.
Nah, no, the books are where it's at for those who like to read. I like to sit and watch and listen. That's what I do. Yeah. Hey.
Fair enough.
What I do. Cool. And so yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. we're aiming for about one a month and a half, something like that, over the break. So next one, it might be a little while before the next one, but be patient. It'll come. Probably get a Mr. Podcast or two.
Yeah, Mr. Podcast. For those who are interested, listen to Justin and I yap about whatever. Those are always fun. There's a link on our Lost Lowdown page. I guess it's Mr-Podcast.blogspot.com.
Yeah.
So, MR-. And Thanks and namaste.
Namaste and good luck.